We are legends.
Start the choo-choo train!
I was gonna do that, damn it!
Revenge. Let him finish.
I will, but he fucking did that to me how many times?
Start the fucking choo-choo train.
Good evening, happy Friday, happy anime day. We are Legends of Evantris, and this is Icebound. Lend us your strength and join us.
Start the choo-choo train.
It is the 18th day of the 11th month, and you have endured. In the past few weeks, you've trekked further northward, not just seeking warmer climes, but also to find some semblance of civilization, or refuge, or asylum. Anything that might help you ease the coming burdens of deep winter. And until these past few weeks, you've found little more than desolation and ice. The many miles you've traveled together and labored to survive have finally taken you beyond the tremendous ice sheet of southern Drakkar, and though it may often be covered in snow, the crunch of real soil and ground under your feet brings a feeling of progress and triumph that is both shared and difficult to put into words. You find yourselves now having followed a great river running northeast, in part because of the occasional supply of fish it provides, but also in search of the crew that abandoned you so many long months ago. Instead of finding them, or the ancient ice sled they commandeered, you stare now at a very strange sight. A band of kobolds, marching across the frigid hardpack, singing. Their voices echo out over the snow-covered terrain as they approach the other side of this frozen river. You can spy the flags that adorn the points of their spears, black cloth with a stark symbol of a great warhammer that flutters in the wind. This small cadre of reptilian humanoids also pull behind them a sizable sled, and are clearly making their way to the bank to cross. The first sign of sentient life you've come across since being visited upon by an enormous ice dragon in the dead of night so many, many weeks ago. The morning is bright. The day is young. Your stomachs are full, your minds are clear, and the morning light faintly warms your skin as you look east towards these kobolds. What happens next is up to you.
I just have a couple of questions, since it's been so long. Roughly how far away from the camp that we set out and caught all those fish at are we?
From the original, village?
No, from where we were just catching all those fish and getting that little reprieve. We set out from that area. So, how long has it been?
We actually need to do a little housekeeping, actually.
Oh, yeah.
28 days of travel
my
actually went by from the time that you left that village where you initially found the first fish
Oh boy,
and
I'm
found
glad
the
I asked.
candles. So, rather than simulate all 28 of those days, I would ask that whatever rations you have in your inventory, quarter them. You've been able to eat the cured pike that Barnabas prepared. You've been able to find additional fish. There have been meager offerings in the form of other small critters and creatures and more and more life as you have been journeying northward. Crank your rations down just to represent, the ebb and flow of that sort of thing, and then we'll pick up there.
And then my other question is, who actually signed the note that we found that said "Don't come looking for us"?
There was no signature.
There was no signature.
It was just the crew's general dagger into the side of the wooden ship side.
That's what I thought. I just didn't know if there was one person who took the lead essentially and signed it.
There was a letter that we found in the hut.
Well, it's right here. Let me go grab it.
No, not that letter.
Because there were two letters.
The letter that we found in the village was the quartermaster, I think. The younger...
that sounds right.
Oh, you're thinking of the drawing you found.
Yeah.
There was an illustration drawn by the cabin boy, Roland.
Okay.
And that illustration was on the hearth of the place that you guys stayed at, presumably because the crew had passed through those same areas.
Right. Got it. Thank you. I am on the same page now.
Bjornir is managing the sledge.
Correct.
So we just quarter what we have on our rations on hand.
Correct.
Got it.
And then the only other thing I have to do is the candles.
That's right.
You gave me. Do you still have the bintine? The bintine.
I should have asked you at the end of last session to write down how many we had left.
So I don't think we used any until we were ready to set out because we had firewood that we had salvaged from the huts. So that was untapped.
Yes.
And then we had discussed, however many days passed, I would do the math to figure out.
Let's quickly do that math.
It should be pretty easy. But I just forget what the total was in the teen bin.
Teen bin.
Wait, how many rations did we each use? What am I removing?
I have...
I was going to say, I was able to hold a decent amount of rations.
36 8-hour chunks was how I was defining it, because it would be 36 nights, because you probably wouldn't be burning them during the day.
Unless we absolutely had to for
some reason. I would say that you ran out of fuel probably 5 to 7 days into your journey. So it's been 28. Let's subtract 21, let's say.
Did you eat my whole burger?
I did.
I think that's very reasonable.
Round up or down?
15.
Oh, because
I'm at 0.5, so...
let's round up.
Okay.
Let's round up.
So I have 3 rations left on Barnabas of pike.
We have 15-hour chunks left. 15 8-hour chunks left of bonfire. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Queenie doesn't carry rations.
And we quartered everything on the sledge too, or everything on the sledge is gone?
Everything on the sledge is just quartered. So you still have whatever you had on the sledge divided by 4.
I had 8 fish rations. That's what I wrote. By the end of last
Then you're probably down to 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Divide by 4.
And then round up.
Right.
Okay.
If it's an odd number. Or not a non-whole number. Sorry.
I got 5 on the sledge.
It has snowed relatively recently. It's clear this particular morning, but there is, a layer of 3 to 6 inches of snow that you're trudging through, underneath which is soil, hardpack, that sort of thing. But it's white in all directions. You can see this frozen river, some 500, 700 feet away, and on the other side, this very small band of kobolds who are starting to position the sled as if to cross. What do you do?
And you said we can hear them singing?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't believe my ears. There's no way. Is that singing?
So I haven't gone mad. What I'm seeing is real. You all see that too?
Well, we're all going mad and we're having the same hallucination.
I wouldn't put that past the realm of possibility.
Well, to be fair, we've all had the same hallucination before. before, so
Exactly right.
That's actually a very valid point.
multiple times.
Do we think they mean us harm?
Well, they're singing, so they gotta be happy.
Their voices are quite beautiful.
And they're like easily half my height, so we'll crush them if we need to.
You
What
can
are
you can
they?
hear this echoing out. It's not like they're singing like opera or something along those lines.
That's what I
there's a
imagined.
there's a specific cadence to it,
know.
and it's almost like something to march to. That's sort of like hoo ha ha oh ha ha hey-o, ha ha hey-o, hey-o. That sort of like call and response as they're starting to make their way through the snow.
I'm feeling invigorated listening to it. Hoo, ah, ah, ah. Well, you gotta say it back.
Ha ha hoo.
You know, we'll work on it.
Okay.
After all the shanties we've done, Taishan,
Well,
Yeah, I
that's the
shouldn't have
best you
been
can do.
surprised.
I thought it was pretty good.
Hoo, ah, ah, ah.
Hoo-ah. Ha ha.
You know, it's getting better every time.
The shanties were easier. There was, it was
That's right.
about.
I am a pretty good lead when it comes to a shanty or two.
It's true.
When you got me in my drum, keep the beat.
So are we gonna go talk to them, or are we just gonna...
Well, I guess the question we should answer
What
here
are?
for what purpose?
Well, what are they? Because they're the first people we've seen at all since we got here.
Not even people, life, except for the dragon and the
And they
horrible.
sound
They're
happy.
humanoids. They must have come from somewhere, but the questions we have
And
to
they're
ask-
alive, which means they've got stuff to survive on to stay alive in a climate like this.
But we do need to be careful because if they're running out and they see that we have stuff, that might not be the most friendly encounter.
Oh, you're
Do we have a
right.
way to communicate with them? Can anyone understand their language?
Well, all they're saying right now is hoo-ah, ha-ha, and that doesn't mean anything to me.
So we're not able to make out any words.
Do we know what they are?
Make a perception check, Kuna.
I ain't never seen anything quite like that before.
I'll make a perception check, and anyone who would like to help me can do the same.
What language
I'm
do you
g-
think they speak?
I'm gonna look at them a little harder. I don't think I've
17.
seen anything like that.
17.
I'll see if I can perceive them.
In between hoo-ah, ha-ha, ayo, ayo, you are getting specific words, but it's in a language that you do not understand. Probably.
Have I ever seen
I
a-
would assume.
Have I ever seen a kobold before? Would
That's a
Scrim
good
know
question.
what that is?
That would be a Mikey setting question, actually,
I
based
gotta-
on where you've been in your life.
I got a 24.
That's very high.
I speak, probably nothing that they would speak.
24. No, I would say that you probably also do not recognize the words. But as you're listening, the singing comes to a halt. It seems now that they're now like looking around and waving to each other, pointing in all directions. You can't hear them talking because of the distance between you and them. But they've stopped pulling the sled well before they reaching the actual bank of the river, and it sees that they're turning their head and they seem to have spotted you at this point. They are aware of your existence and the singing is.
Oh, hey!
Uh-oh.
Hey!
Well, now they definitely know we're here.
Hi!
Hello, friends.
Hi! Do you speak common? Gnomish, goblin, halfling, sylvan? You know what? I'm gonna try something, and I'm gonna talk to my bees, and I'm gonna send them up in the air to write out the words, hi, we come in peace, in common.
This swarm of bees makes a word in the sky. It's a little lazy and it kind
Yeah.
of drifts a little bit.
They're not used to
It's
it.
not like a spell like skywriting or
Yeah.
something along those lines, unfortunately.
they're not
but
used
you
to
feel
it.
like they're doing a pretty good
Well,
job.
from my angle, it looks like it. From their angle, maybe not.
You can see that the kobolds are
It probably looks like they
huddling
flipping 'em
together,
off.
and they're looking up, and they're pointing at the swarm, and then they're continuing to whisper amongst themselves. They don't seem to be getting any closer or coming to you.
Well, yeah, it doesn't look like they're aggressive, but since they saw us, there's no point in not saying hi. We don't want them to think we're aggressive.
How many are there?
Well, in my
Make a perception
swarm,
check.
probably like, I don't know, 200 maybe.
That's a big number.
It's a natural 20.
Let's go.
Oh.
Sorry, I should have pulled my character sheet up, but I know for a fact that it is 20 plus 5 plus 3.
No, you don't know
Is-
that.
Ivan Wolf, thank you so much for
Thank you,
Ivan Wolf.
the gifted sub.
Thank you.
Johnny Tight Lips.
Johnny Tight Lips. Oh, that's a great name.
With a
Great
28,
detective.
you spy with your Yornir eye 16 kobolds in this gang.
1, 2, 2, 3, 4. I'm not exactly good at math,
Got a
but
16.
those odds aren't very good.
Odds of what?
Survival if they decide to eat us?
Oh.
Well, we don't have to necessarily fight them. We could just run. That is an option. But I agree that we should try to learn where they're coming from.
They're coming from the way that we're headed, right?
They're coming from if you go dead east from where you're standing, you're going to hit that mountain range, right? So there's that slope, and you've been getting closer and closer. The river seems to be edging its way towards this mountain range. Certainly, that's where rivers come from. And if you had to guess based on the when you initially saw them, you'd say that they were coming from the north, heading southwest towards you, and now you've intersected at this river destination.
Well, no time like the present, right?
For what?
To go say hi, like you said.
Oh, I was figuring we'd wait and see if they approached us.
I think that we
do? Oh, sorry.
approach as friends.
Yeah.
But we need to remember that in any survival situation like this, it's just better odds to kill whoever you see.
Wait, well, I'm sorry. I stopped listening halfway through that. You want us to kill him just...
We should assume that they're thinking that exact same thing.
He means prepare for the worst. That's what he's trying to say.
Is this your philosophy? Does this work for you?
Yeah, because I'm feeling like that's a little bit negative.
I've heard stories of icebound whalers up by Mammut, and they make their way on the ice, they run into folk, and it's a question of life and death for them or the others. First strike always has a higher chance of surviving.
I heard a story about whalers out on the sea once. It was a tale about a whale called Moby Rich.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, that was the name of the whale, was Moby Rich.
What an odd name for a creature.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave him that name, but I do know that all the people died and they started eating each other and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've heard the tale of Moby Rich. It's a legendary tale. I'm not sure it's real, and I don't think that happened.
He's a highly aggressive, gigantic white whale, according to the book.
Regardless of whether or not you agree with his personal philosophy, I think he's being safe. And
Right, but
it certainly doesn't hurt to stay on guard.
I feel like if they were going to try and fight us, though, don't you think that they would have already started making their way over here? Like, I waved and I sent bees.
You glance
probably-
as you make this comment over, and you can now see that there are two deviating from the pack and starting to cross the river towards you.
They've probably been having the exact same conversation we're having. Everybody look tight!
No, well, they're sending two over, so should we designate two people to be our, it's definitely not Barnabas. So out of the four of us, should we designate two people to be our envoy or our, there's a word for it.
I think Mr. Fireblossom should do it. He looks like these little fellers. It's like little mini...
Don't you think he might be a little, I don't know, daunting, like them walking up to... No, I'm saying because you're so tall.
Well, no, my second vote was gonna be Yornir because he can crush them if he has to.
Well, I was thinking you and I could go
he's the
because we're
third
roughly
tallest.
about the same size.
You want us to go?
Yeah.
Tai Shen needs to go in case there's a language barrier that he can solve.
I could make a pot of tea so we could have an offering
Well,
of
then
peace.
you need to go with either me or with Scrim.
Go with Scrim.
Why? I vote Queenie.
Why, Scrim? You don't think I can do this?
I think she's very capable.
Looking at those things, they seem more alike to him than to you.
What's that supposed to
Why?
mean?
Because
I will
have
say-
fur?
Scrim is known for fantastic plans, so if something happens in the moment...
And I'm not? You don't want to hang out with me and whatever those things are?
I didn't want to say this in front of Scrim, but I just think that you're more valuable, so if things go south...
I don't think that's a kind thing to say about Scrim.
I just want to go on the record and let you know, Queenie, I was 100% in your corner the entire time.
My feelings are hurt.
No,
Mine too.
I actually agree, and this may be
This is
grim
unbelievable.
and morbid of me.
Oh, I don't even say it, Barnabas.
I think that the person who's most valuable at range is Miss March here.
I heard what you did, or what did you said, hair?
I didn't, but that is actually quite good. I wish I had.
That's
I think that if you have your bow at the ready, I think that you could
I'm
draw
not
it
gonna
and
knock my bow.
I think you could be ready to if you could perhaps save Scrim or Tyson's
Hey,
life.
you already got here. Nice to meet you. No, I'm just kidding.
They've just crossed the river bank and are probably 150 to 200 feet away.
I can't believe this. Tyshen, are we ready?
Oh, it'll be fun.
So
Let's
Barnabas,
go.
you're giving the order. I'm staying, and they're going.
I would suggest that you keep an eye on them and be ready to put an arrow through their head if they seem aggressive.
Well,
That seems like I don't want to kill Scrim.
No, don't kill me. Kill them. Kill them.
Right now?
No, only if we have to.
Oh.
Tyshen, you go first. I don't want to have to trudge through this snow. And I
should
put a
we
hand
have
on my
a
head.
signal? I
And I'm
don't
trying
want her to shoot you in the head
the
with an
signal is
arrow.
go, just go. And I start pushing Tyshen from behind if I can. Just even though he's taller than me, and I'm trying to like hold my hat as I do big steps through the snow behind him.
Okay. I would say the three of you who are staying, by the time you guys get, let's say, 50 feet away from these kobolds, by the time that happens, you guys will be about 100 feet away. So just trying to establish some distances just in case.
All right.
What is the range of a bow?
That's a good question.
300.
300?
I longbows like 600.
I will try to give Queenie as much cover as I can to get ready stealthily, if she cares to.
As we're approaching, I'm trudging through the snow behind Tyshen. All right, Tyshen. I didn't want to seem like a crazy lunatic back there, but Barnabas is right. If this goes south, you better be ready to just incinerate all of them, all right? And I'll start hacking to the bits.
What? It's just these two lovely creatures in front of us.
Consider them warm-up, all right?
Warm up for what?
Warm-up so that we don't get eaten.
Hack them to bits.
We've made it this far. I'm not going to get eaten today.
Oh, no. Oh, you don't think that's going to happen, do you?
I can't know for sure, but I would bet about 99% sure, yeah.
I don't know. 99%?
I'm very certain. I mean, anything can happen, but I'm about 99%.
That seems quite likely.
Just look alive, all right? Be ready for anything.
Oh.
At this point, you hear one of them cry out. And I need you both to make perception rolls.
Oh my god.
18.
Nice.
10.
With a 10, I will say that you see both of these kobolds. They aren't wearing very much for how freezing it is. They are actually covered in loose furs, but their arms aren't covered in material. They do appear to have like boots, but you can still see their like actual skin of their knees poking from underneath these shorts almost. They've got big, wide, thick belts. They're winged. These creatures have pretty short but tall on their back, white. Horned wings that poke over both shoulder, like so. And they're wearing very familiar-looking goggles. As they look out at you with these thin slits, they remind you of the bones of the elemental that you killed while crossing the ice sheet. With an 18, you are very confident that you do not understand a single word that's being spoken. Even with a 10, I will say it's easy for you to hear in Draconic. The words shouted out. Easy. Keep your distance.
I can't understand anything they're saying. Come on, Tyshen, tell me you know what they're saying.
I
We're
do,
in
in
really
fact.
deep trouble.
They're speaking Draconic.
Oh, that's fantastic. What do
They
they say?
seem incredibly friendly. However, they are saying easy, keep your distance.
What? And I'll freeze.
Yeah.
Your reaction and being so like skittery, every time you like make a large movement or something like that, you see the like points of their spears come down just a little bit.
Okay,
They're like,
all right,
this
all
is
right.
clearly
So their weapons drawn.
This
They're
is
like,
like a
pointing at
tense,
us.
situation.
How far are they from us?
At this point, I would say that they're about 50 feet away.
All right. There's no need for that. Now, Tyshen, make sure you're just repeating what I'm saying here, all right? We're going to work together as a team.
Okay.
There's no need for that. The sharp, pointy things, just keep them up. We're not coming any closer.
Hello, friends. How are you?
At this point, the one who looks a little older than his companion speaks in common and is able to shout to both of you, keep your weapons at your side.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, you speak common. That's going to make this way easier. Look, I don't even have any weapons. And I'll like lift up my coat and my furs, and I've got nothing.
I put my hands up. This is no weapon. This is a teapot.
He's telling the truth. I know that sounds really bizarre.
What banner are you?
Oh,
What clan?
What?
Do we have a sailing crew? Do we have a name for our sailing crew?
Moorbound.
We were on the ship of the Moorbound, but I don't think we have like a. I'm gonna look at Taishan. A banner? What kind of banner? No, we don't. We don't have a banner. We were on a ship and we got shipwrecked.
Where are you coming from? And look, we're heading towards the direction it seems as though you've come from.
That's none of your business.
Oh.
Well, that's fine. That's fair. Worst case scenario, if this starts to go a little south, we can just pass like 2 ships in the night.
Strays.
What?
Oh,
No clan, no banner.
Well, I mean, we're friends.
Yeah, I mean, we sailed on the Moorbound. Is that what you mean?
I'll look down at Queenie. This is not going well.
They put their spears up and sort of stare at you, and then you see the hand motion that they indicate that they want you to come closer to them.
All right, Taishan.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, I'm gonna lean in. All right, you go first. Keep up the friendly act. If things get south, I'll slit their throats. All right, get ready. Here we go. We're coming.
You really need to just take it easy, I think.
No, Barnabas is right. We have to always be ready.
Well, we can be ready, but I thought maybe we'd serve them some tea. We'd figure out where they're coming from. Slitting their throats seems a bit extreme.
All right, we'll make that plan. C.
Yeah. Okay. You know, maybe further like into the
We're coming.
The
Hey,
H
hang out.
category.
Hold on.
Yes,
we're coming.
no, we're on our way.
Give us a minute. My legs are short.
We'll approach them further.
Sure, and I'll make sure that my music is working properly.
How far away are they from their crew?
Like 400 feet. They've walked quite a distance to reach you here.
I'm gonna very intentionally stay outside of spearing range. So a good 15, 20 feet so I can't get jabbed in the ribs when they're like, no, I'm not looking.
Yeah, and they're a little taller than. How tall are you?
Oh, that's bullshit.
They're a little
I'm
taller
6.5 feet tall. I weigh 180 pounds.
They're also 6.5 feet tall.
This is horseshit.
They're 6 feet 7 inches
Yeah.
tall.
I can't
and
believe this.
185 pounds.
What are the chances?
A clan of gigantic kobolds.
Maybe between the hat and then
All right.
it's the same.
That's fine. They're taller than me.
profile.
I'll deal with it.
Where did you say you're from?
I mean, we're from a really far away place. I mean, we're actually, all of us are all from all over, but we were on this boat called the Moorbound. It was a ship, and we got shipwrecked. That's it.
We're old friends. We're on a traveling voyage. We're having a great time. We were singing sea shanties. You may know some.
Quiet.
Oh.
Shipwrecked where?
I mean, days and days and weeks away, south, I guess. I'm not very good with directions.
Probably at least, like, several days in that direction.
Make a persuasion check, both of you.
You know, the more I think about it, the more we talk, the more this only solidifies the fact that I shouldn't have been the one to get sent over here. The one who knows all the directions, the one who knows about the ship, they decided to stay behind. Unbelievable. I got a 15.
We have very little information, it's true.
This is a nightmare.
Are they, like, dragon people at all? Or are they just
These are white kobolds. So they have kind of draconic features, but I really like to think of them more like mini T-Rexes in terms of like the head shape, because they have like this long like snout almost. It's very reptilian-esque. They don't remind you of the dragon that you've seen, where it has like that obviously more draconic like face, and they don't look dragon-born. They're kobolds.
I just
They're
double my
distant
proficiency when I'm trying to persuade dragons, so...
Oh.
If it's dragon, are kobolds dragon kin?
I was gonna say, are they descendant from dragons? Is that how that works? Or are they like an offshoot?
I think it really depends
were
on the
created.
setting, and it depends on the kobold type. It can depend on a variety
Touche.
of factors.
Yeah.
Touche.
Probably
that's
just DM
meta-knowledge.
fiat.
Yeah.
I got a 15. I don't know what Taishen got.
Well, if it's double, it's 31.
Holy hell!
If it's not double, it's like
Look at this guy.
26, yeah. So,
You look like you've had a hard journey.
Oh, please. Yeah,
Oh.
How much time you got?
I'd say you wouldn't believe, but it looks like you have the sunglasses.
I mean, we ran out of liquor like day one.
Yeah, and there was that. We have tea, though. Would you like some tea? You look maybe like you're cold, or maybe you're not. You're wearing shorts. Maybe you're very accustomed to this climate.
Indeed. We are the Frosthammer.
Frosthammer.
That is the name of our banner, yes.
Wow, that's
and you can
cool.
see fluttering in the wind that same warhammer shape on the tip of their spears. It's brilliantly white against a black cloth.
I don't mean to pry, but we're obviously strangers in a strange land here. You're...
Strange.
The way that you seem to talk about this like there's a bunch of other clans and banners.
Many
many?
all across Drakkar.
Like how many?
What are your names, kobold friends?
My name is Hax.
Oh, I really didn't want to make it that personal. This
Well-
is gonna get messy.
What do you mean?
Well, you start to make friends with people, you know, this is a harsh place. People go and they come.
Everything. You see that when we were in that bear cave? Tried to kill us. The wolves tried to kill us. The elementals definitely tried to kill us.
And you don't think Hax here might not try to
Hax
kill us?
seems very friendly. Hax is from the Frosthammer clan.
They lower their spears.
Okay, all right. Now, see, that's not necessary.
Hax.
We've told you the truth thus far. Everything we've said has been true. We're very tired. We're very sober. It's just been a very long journey.
Friend Hax.
Look, we've run into
What are your names?
My name is Scrim.
And my name, I bow, is Tai Shen Fireblossom.
I'm not gonna bow.
I bow.
Make a perception check for me as one of them whispers again into the ear of this Hax character who's been doing all the talking.
What does he say?
Got an 8.
Whispers in Draconic. It happens so fast and quietly, it gets lost in the wind. You don't quite miss it, but he turns, no. That was long ago.
You didn't happen to maybe run into any other strange people in this strange land, did you? There were people who were also on the Morabound who bailed way before we did, and were many days ahead of us.
No.
Oh. Well, they were just, humanoids and random collection of peoples, and okay, I just thought maybe you might have seen them.
We only just came here to the Withered Lands.
Oh.
Wait, like, what are the Withered Lands? You mean all of Drakkar? Is that what you call the Withered Lands? You call Drakkar that?
No, the western coast. This side of the mountain, the spine.
Okay, I hope you're remembering all of this to tell them, because I'm not going to remember
I was
this.
just gonna say, Hax, if we could, I'd love to offer you a delicious cup of tea. It's warm, it's cold out here, as frost is everywhere, and you're in shorts, for goodness sakes. I think this would warm up your creaky knees. Not that they're creaky, but just I've noticed that they're exposed
Tai Shen.
into the winterlands because they're in shorts, for goodness sakes. You haven't offered them anything except that thing you said before I won't repeat because it was unkind. However, Hax,
Tai Shen,
if I could, I'd like some tea and I'd like to invite my friends to come over. If that is okay with you.
I'm just saying, because if I were them, if I were in their shoes, I'd be thinking, well, this guy's gonna come up to me and offer me tea. The first thing he's gonna do is poison it.
What shoes? They're not wearing shoes.
It's a turn of
Scram.
phrase.
What do you mean a turn of a phrase?
It's an expression.
They're in the frozen wastelands in the withering land, please.
We make camp. We trade.
We have tea.
We would
That's all we
trade.
got. We've got tea.
We've got tea and we've got really great stories. Yornir, well, actually he's a moose. But when he's not a moose over there, he is a really wild teller of stories, and I think you would quite enjoy one or two. And Barnabas, he looks like maybe, he picked up a barnacle or two in the sea.
Queenie's very easily the nicest of all of us. You'll like her the best. I promise.
Absolutely. Maybe not after you've tried the tea, but...
Make one final persuasion check for me.
Damn it, I got a 6.
19.
Yeah, that's all Tai Shen.
I will say he's surprisingly warm to to Taishan. They keep giving you very strange, like aggressive looks. Let's say, especially the unnamed companion, who you've yet to learn this one's name. But he's like almost like ready to stab the air, just looking at both of you.
That makes two of us.
And Hex puts a hand on his companion's shoulder, whispers one last time, and says, yes, we will make camp. We will trade stories, information, perhaps goods. We will then go our separate ways. Fine.
That sounds amenable.
This is fantastic! This isn't at all how we thought this would go.
No, we actually planned exactly for this to happen. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be right back we'll bring our friends to the camp when we see you're getting ready.
You wait. You wait here.
We wait here. Oh,
Well,
okay.
we'll just wave them over. I mean, they're just right there.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Maybe we'll make some tea while we wait.
You know what? Yes. We'll brew some tea. I'll brew 2 cups, whip them up really quick.
And we'll wait for you right here.
Go speak to your allies.
Oh, okay. We'll just walk over there then.
We will return and share this news.
Oh, okay.
Miss Mark killed the one on the left first.
I'm gonna turn around as they start to walk away and just like try to wave them down.
I'm gonna aim my arrow for Scrim's head.
I'm just waving. Hey guys, come here!
So we're just gonna, because we're killing him, we're gonna stop calling him Scrim and start calling him the one on the left.
No, don't shoot anyone.
Did you hear what that noise that moose is making?
Guys!
The 2 kobolds back up.
I'm waving my hand.
And then once they feel they're a safe distance, they turn and start to scurry back towards the rest of the Frosthammer tribe, the clan that you've become aware of.
Good news, everyone!
And in a very short distance, you are able to return to the party.
I'll like finally tense, and like I've been like clutching my anchor, and like in getting ready for a sprint pose, and I'll finally relax once they're far enough away.
Well, that couldn't have gone any better than it possibly did.
It really couldn't have. I mean, they could have given us rations and maybe hugged me and enjoyed my tea.
Well, we'll get there. There's still time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it could have gone slightly better.
So they're gonna set up camp. They want to meet everyone. We met, the one's name was Hax. They seem a little, on edge.
You'll never guess what clan they're from.
What?
I knew you'd never guess. It's the Frosthammer clan.
If you'd given me a million guesses, I never would have guessed that.
What, Frosty Hammer on their banners over there and a million guesses? You wouldn't have just said the icon of their flag?
I hate guessing games.
Tashi, can I ask you a question?
You may.
Do you think if we're going to be in this land, we're going to need to have our own flag?
Well,
it's very possible. They seem to assume that we were from a clan.
They called us, some sort of bannerless name. I've already forgotten. I told you to remember these things. I knew I wasn't going to remember.
I thought you were remembering them.
I don't want to be bannerless. Do you think I could design the flag?
I think that would be very cool.
Because I had this idea of a black flag with a white cat covered in blood.
Oh.
There's also, they insinuated that there are many clans across Jakar. They also called this one the...
And we could call
Waste
ourselves the Blood Cats.
Yeah, well, that one over there with the eye patch, that's Hax. The one that's horrifically scarred with the spear pointed at us right now, we didn't get his name, but he seems like maybe the designer of the bunch. And
Do you think his name's Slash?
Ooh.
That's certainly possible.
I think that was the one on the left. He's one on the left.
Oh, so you didn't want me to kill Scrim?
What?
No, Scrim!
There's some serious
I was going to kill the one that was pointing that spear at you.
You were?
After all
I was going to say, hey, Queenie, why don't you just do a little...
I had my arrow aimed at the back of Scrim's head.
Oh, goodness!
I'm real glad you didn't give me the go-ahead.
Well, this went a lot better than it could have.
I just don't even know what to think anymore.
I wonder what would have happened.
They said they wanted to trade with us.
What are we going to give them? We need our fish.
Well, I told them that Yornir was a very good storyteller and that we would brew them tea, and that seemed to be something that excited them.
Yeah, we don't even know what they have to offer.
In this time, the kobolds have returned to their sled, and you can see that they're now pulling tarps off, pulling out large poles, starting to set up like tents, almost like a not just a camp, but makeshift little town, being able to hang fabrics and stuff. They are actually like setting up to stay, based on the fact that they've encountered this group.
Apologies if this was said and I missed it. Do they not have a beast of burden of any kind?
It does not appear to be. No,
Okay.
You can just see the kobolds, and I will say, before they came to a halt and spied you, you would have seen that all of them had been pulling this giant flag.
Oh, okay. So probably the sense if they were singing a shoving song or a heaving song,
marching cadence.
Marching, yeah. Roger that.
The important part is that we are not a clan. We shouldn't.
Oh, we're a crew. That's right. We can have a name for our crew with a flag.
Oh yeah, but can we use my flag idea? Of
We can hoist whatever colors
the
you care
black
to.
flag with the white cat with blood covering it.
The flag idea is kind of I like that, but specifically, I think maybe there's a little work we can do because that's maybe does that send the right message?
I think Junior was saying something kind of important.
Because everyone should be afraid of cats. Not only is it possible you could be allergic to them, which is a fate worse than death, but they also have claws and they can scratch you and draw blood.
But do we want to communicate fear or do we want to communicate openness?
No, it's not about communicating fear. It's about telling them beware cats.
What about us represented by a cat?
Nothing.
It's a good point. Nothing. Your name?
My point is that we should not represent ourselves as a clan or any kind of group.
Why?
Because
what does that have to do with my flag idea?
Because if we raise our own colors, then we are inviting
No,
violence.
we're gonna raise a black flag.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a color.
I think black is actually all colors combined
Colors
into one.
is the name for raising a flag. You hoist the colors.
What I am
But
trying
if you're
to
only
say,
raising one or, well, I guess, well, white's not technically red is, so all right, that makes two. All right, I'm
the
wrong.
moment you represent yourself as some kind of group, humanoids are weak-minded creatures. You are inviting violence, competition, bloodshed.
We're not thinking that about them.
Oh, I was absolutely thinking that the entire time we were walking over there. I mean, that's why I asked how many clans there are out there, and there are apparently hundreds.
But my
Scrim
question
has such a strong mind that even though that was his thought, he didn't act upon it.
I was very close.
And my question is, are you sure it's because they were raising colors or because they're wearing culottes?
What?
I didn't catch that last part.
Culottes, they're not quite shorts, but they're not quite pants either.
I've learned something
Well,
new
we
today.
always call those shants.
Oh, that...
What? I've never heard that either.
Yeah, no, back home, that's got a whole different meaning.
Oh, yes, there's one fella on a ship I served on once. We called him shants because that's all he wore.
If you were a bad kid, you had to wash Grandpa's shants.
Oh my goodness. That's atrocious. That's horrific. My goodness.
Well, our new friends are setting up what seems to be a very warm camp with cloth, at least.
Well, we should figure out what we're going to trade with them, because I have a feeling that even though you said tea and story time, that the moment we pull our swedge or whatever it's called on up to them filled with pike, they're going to take our fish.
Well, they can certainly try. But it may not come to that.
20-something of them compared to us.
16, I think I counted.
Yeah,
But there
okay,
could
so
be
there are
more.
more.
I am
There are
going.
definitely more than us.
I'm going to offer them. Well, it's up to you, Mr. Staviscotch. I think that they might be able to actually make use of the fishing tackle.
What? You want to take away my job after all we've been through together? We've had these past 28 days. We have fished together, and I thought we had some good times. But if I have to give up my fishing tackle, I'll do
I'm
it.
just trying to think about what is valuable to an.
No, you're right. You're right. I will be the bigger goblin, and I will give up my fishing tackle. Oh, I can't believe I'm out of a job.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna go over to him.
Are you watching this?
Yes.
I didn't mean nothing by it. I didn't mean nothing by it, Mr. Staviscotch. I didn't mean it.
I think Scrim's got a crush on Barnabas.
You think?
Do you see how upset he is? He might not be able to go off alone with it.
I'd never thought of it before, but now that I reflect upon it, they're quite the handsome pairing.
This is starting to make so much sense. I was wondering why I was holding on to that tackle so tightly. He doesn't like to work at all. It's because he gets to spend quality time with Barnabas.
I'm still crying.
Why don't we can trade other things?
It's fine.
We have actual gold that they'll
I take the
take.
tackle out of my bag and I just take
Oh my god!
Just
this
take
is literally breaking his poor goblin heart.
I can't stand to look at it any longer.
No, you know what, Scrim? We can't let you get rid of that.
Oh.
It clearly means too much to you.
Oh well. I mean, if you mean it.
I do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we mean it.
You should keep your quality time with your love.
What?
Fishing with your love.
Oh,
of
that's
fishing.
right. Oh, I love spending quality time with my love. It is.
Fishing.
Taishan, are you
That's
sick?
exactly right. It is my love.
What he meant to say was his love of fishing, right?
Yes?
Do they speak common? Can you communicate with them?
Yes, they do.
How armed are they?
Can you shut up? No,
Do
give
you
me
see
talking.
weapons?
Yeah, no, they were very quick with the weapons. That's what I was going to say. They're a little jumpy. We got to be extra careful.
They
No,
were
the one
just
on the left was like, he was
holding
going for my
weapons.
ribs.
He
I looked away
walked
for a
up with
second
the
and I
spear
felt
the one
I felt the spear
time.
tickle my ribs a little bit.
No, that was nothing. That was potentially your love for Bob.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Then do it.
What? Well, I know many secrets.
The one we found out about the fishing.
That Scrim secretly...
I'm 100 feet away from them. I'm just
loves
walking towards
fishing.
the goblins.
You start to walk, and at this point,
pulling the sled.
they're still making camp. And it's an elaborate process of unpacking the sled and settling down. It seems for these kobolds, but they've already got a fire going. Out of nowhere, you can see right at the edge of the riverbed that one in particular is just doing this sort of motion, and bonfire has emerged out of nothingness right there at the edge of the water. The smoke and smell of burning wood starts to get stronger and stronger as you start to approach, and it looks like people are bringing down cooking implements and pans and these kinds of things, other small satchels.
I would have passed on all of the information that we gathered to the best of my ability.
Okay.
You know, because Yornir was very...
I would say a good amount of
adamant
time
about it.
passes before you feel comfortable to approach, even you, Yornir, after listening to this ridiculousness.
I would have passed on information as well, but it would have been very likely just incorrect.
But we'll say that you're all equipped with the basic knowledge
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have overheard when they went and had the initial
And
conversation.
so it's not like a
First
campfire; it is a bonfire.
It is. This is a
Like
massive.
like a
yeah. This looks
huge-
like something that 16 kobolds could comfortably warm themselves
Okay,
around, with
okay, that
room
makes
for
sense.
5 more.
I
Yeah,
hope you have 16 kobold names prepared.
it's Derek. Of course, he fucking.
Yeah, you mean hack?
Dolly,
slash,
Skeklo,
Jax.
Obix, Meepo, Kurik, Ukvok, Gikli, Zebank, Datri, Dendik,
Meepo.
Zix, Moss, Skerrick, Vogs, and Igloo.
Vogs?
I was really hoping for...
I want to meet Meepo.
That's who I want to meet.
I love Dodo.
Yornir, you're making your way, and the 4 of you realize that you've been chattering amongst yourselves when he's, about 60, 75, 100 feet away.
Hey, Mr. Yornir, hold on. And I'll start doing like a light jog.
And I'd say it's morning is almost faded. It's now midday by the time all of these pieces have occurred, and you reach the other side of the river. Crossing as carefully as you can the actual ice, very slippery surface
Baby.
of this frozen river.
I said baby.
What about baby?
It's potentially prompted by the fact that you said ice.
And then I attack French fries.
I'm trying to DM brain.
Start the music.
that can actually go. So we won't do that one anymore. And we'll do this one. All right. You eventually approach, and you can see that they've all kept their weapons very close by. Some of them are still holding spears, but Hax, by his lonesome, walks up. Scrim!
Yes, that's my name. It's good to see you again.
And Taishan.
Oh, friend Scrat.
For my sake. Oh, the little squirrel's always trying to get his acorn. Never to succeed.
Made our way to them?
I would say at this point you are you've crossed the river, and unless you want to do something en route to crossing the river, you're 30, 60 feet away from the camp, and Hax is standing right in front of you.
Hello, friend Hax.
When we get within 10 feet, I'm just going to rush up to him.
Okay. I would say that you do that. He nods to Scrim and Taishen, and just as he's about to ask, what are your friends' names, you run up at him.
Hey, are you a hugger? Because I am, and I'm going to give him a big old hug.
Okay.
Prepare my
as soon as you start to rush at him, he screams and goes onto his back foot. He puts a spear in between you and him.
I scream.
If you continue running, you run into a pole with a blade on the end.
I do.
Okay, I'll roll for damage. What are you doing? Stop!
Oh boy.
Well, this escalated
Let me
quickly.
think about this.
What's your AC?
15.
You take 4 points of piercing damage as he attempts to stop you. He screams, and all of the kobolds immediately jump to attention and start to run across the ice onto this river towards the five of you. Stop! What are you doing? He pushes you back, and you can feel the sting as it digs into your hip.
Like the Dickens. I'm Queenie March. I just want. You're not a hugger, are you? Then. Ow!
I thought you were attacking me. What are you doing?
If I was attacking you, don't you think I'd be doing it now? You wounded my gut. Clearly, I don't want to fight you. I just wanted to give you a hug. You look cold in your culottes.
He pulls his spear back.
Thank God it's this cold. My blood's turned into icicles.
This is a dangerous world. There's no knowing that we were just meeting for the first time. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, if you ever come to Yona, it'll start to make sense. Don't stab a hugger. Shit.
He puts
I
his
gotta
hand
say
back,
though,
and the kobolds
that was
all
pretty
pause.
good aim.
He yells something out. You recognize it to be the phrase "halt." What did you say to him?
I said that was pretty good aim. I wasn't expecting it at all.
I've been a hunter for many years.
I'm gonna have to learn from you. I got a bow on my back. I can shoot pretty far.
Queenie.
Yeah, Queenie March. Nice to meet you. Miss March if you're nasty.
Am I nasty, Taisha?
I think yes, but I don't know how that applies to this.
Barkbos, if you have to ask.
Do you happen to have a piece of cloth I can put on my gut wound? I'm starting to feel lightheaded a little bit.
You're on your own.
Yeah, I made a grievous mistake.
I was just going to defend myself. We want you to just come and sit around the fire. It's not...
Yeah, no, I do too. I just wanted a hug. It's been a long time since I've seen anyone but these chuckle fucks.
Well, there's no better way to relieve tension than with a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, and a bloody wound where we don't retaliate.
Well,
so I guess there's that.
It's kind of your own making, but
Do
if we
you
want to...
need help with that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I do.
Gut wound.
Oh, wow, I feel much
Some water
better.
drip down, chap.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Oh, wow. That's gonna leave quite the scar.
You've long rested, right? Since all
You
this...
just
Yeah.
woke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You two, what are your names?
They call me Yornir.
Yornir.
And if you or your companions need any services, aid, healing, let me know.
Oh, he's quite good at it. He is.
And you?
Oh, my name is Barnabas. Folks have called me the Dreadweight, but you can call me Barnabas, which is fine.
Barnabas.
Oh, if you need cooking services, if you need some, I have all sorts of spice. I don't know what kind of cuisine you kobolds enjoy, but I could probably titillate your taste buds.
Spice
That's
is
a
good.
great word, titillate.
Oh yeah, you picked it up by some fancy folk at Brieg.
Wait here. I will explain what just happened, and we can sit. And he turns and he starts to make his way back to the group, and immediately you can hear a dozen voices all talking one over another, all in Draconic. You're getting little snippets of this conversation. Do we trust these strays? It looks like they have magic. Should we attack? How did they get here? All these questions and more are overwhelming Hacks, and he's continuing to sort of calm them down until, after a few minutes of conversation, the chatter dies down, and he turns. Come and sit. We will parlay and talk.
Yeah, sure thing.
Just no sudden movements. We've been. It's been a dangerous few weeks, and
All right, I do just want to say that I make sudden movements. I am a Herringon, as you can see. And I like to hug.
Oh, they should call you a hugging gun.
Oh, that's a good one, Barnabas.
Hug today, gun. 5
I
minutes
sure
later.
hope not. Yeah, because of what happened just now, where I was almost
your
gutted.
your guts were on the snow. Oh yeah, if it wasn't for Mr.
I think I
York.
left a chunk of my liver out
Oh
there.
yeah, there's a chunk. It'll be good in a stew. Anyways,
you
Well, that's
approach the
awful.
fire, and we might as well use these ongoingly whenever we're around fire. So, the five of you stand now on the surface of an icy, frozen river, but 30 feet away from a roaring bonfire. You can already sort of feel its heat. You can feel the activity of the kobolds having settled down, Hacks having calmed them, and they are starting to go a little bit more about their business. Hacks turns and motions.
This may be a stupid meta conversation, so feel free to shut it down. It needs to be a Mikey judgment. Do we get the sense that if we've just woken up, and if we want to spend a whole day not moving north, do we feel like that's going to fuck us getting caught by winter?
Weather-wise?
Getting caught by winter. So,
Good question.
I don't know if Barnabas would think that, but Mikey is very aware that we're trying to outrun winter, and we're not going to be able to.
Yornir would probably.
Oh, Yornir might know. That's true. So anyway, something for Richie to think about from a meta perspective, because I don't know if Barnabas would be thinking too much about that.
I would say it would be very hard, even for Yornir. You're free to make a nature check if you want to try to exceed the DC, but it would be very hard to make a guesstimate as to whether or not a day or two or a week of rest would mean a serious problem long term.
I'm sure I fail. It's nothing spells.
That's how I feel when I wake up in the morning.
I'd like to make a nature check.
It's a 9.
Kidding.
The climate is getting colder, but you know that the changing weather conditions of whatever local environment you're in is probably more important. Is there suddenly a storm or a blizzard or something like that is going to be more impactful than the steady decline of the temperature, even though that's winter.
Yeah, I mean, one day will make a huge difference. Yeah. Right, so.
Well,
Well, we
unlucky.
at this point though we kind of know, like, maybe we're not like super in tune with it, but we are more or less, even at a basic sense, would know we're kind of like the direction the kobolds are heading in is what I'm thinking about. We know they're going deeper into, like, exponentially they're going to cross into cold.
Something to think about when you have your conversation with the kobolds.
Yeah. Okay.
He Hacks. You're free to join us.
Yeah, I'll tentatively, like, just, cautiously, as disarmingly as possible, walk towards the bonfire.
He gestures over. This is Dolly, our firebringer.
Scram, Matt.
Dolly?
Dole is doing this sort of like occasional sort of rhythm with the hands, doing gestures, muttering under his breath, just sort of keeping the fire alive. When he does this, you see this burst and fuel almost emerges from nothing. It's like the coals become their own logs again, and then continue to inflame.
Dole, I love your work. How do you do this?
Magics.
I understand a bit of what you're dealing in. How is there anything I can pick up from you? This seems like an incredibly powerful talent you have to produce such a bonfire. I myself.
You can breathe flames out of your face, can't you?
Well, and I can produce it with my hands as well. But you, with the movements, you dance like the water itself. If I may, I don't want to be too forward, but...
And magic is common in our family. We often go with groups such as this in order to keep everyone warm and to cook. And speaking of cooking, and he looks over, and you can already see crates and small barrels are being brought over. Two of the unnamed kobolds are walking up, and they have what is clearly a large tub of some kind, almost like a bucket. They have jars that they start to open up, and they start putting pans down on, and around the bonfire. And pretty soon, as you guys are talking, they're putting in what look like handful of like wormy grubs into one, and then there's another with another with
ice worms.
Why do I have? This is what I get for not printing out my sheet beforehand. I
think
have
we're
to
follow
scroll
us
up and
down.
down to find-
Zeb!
22.
Welcome.
A number of berries go into another pan, and you can they pull out these long like tentacle-y things, clearly cut from some sort of creature with suckers on the side, and they look very much like octopus arms that have been shriveled or preserved in this fermented juice. Dropping those into the skillet. The juices of these like cranberry or like grape-like berries popping, and pretty soon you guys, your senses are hit by a wave of decently smelling things, and you can see very quickly they're producing handholds or bowls and just saying, "Eat."
Dungeon Master?
Yeah.
Can I request that you roleplay as the tentacle going into the frying pan?
Yes, please. It's my birthday on Sunday.
Well played.
And thank you, Hawkins.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was the last time I'm going to ask you.
That's not the last time I'm going to ask.
I'll take a bowl and look at it, but oh wait, no, it looks smell like garbage.
It's pickled octopus, some form of berry.
Oh, it smells way better than garbage.
And like grubs, like mealworms, but big.
I am 100% okay with this meal. As I take it, though, I want to address the firemancer, this person tending the fire.
Dole?
Yes, I don't want to overstep my bounds, but you made it sound like your family is maybe spread out amongst different groups of peoples under different banners, or are you all under the same banner?
We are under the banner of the Frosthammer.
Oh, so your family works for many different groups of Frosthammer banners.
Many kobolds across Drakkar, all Frosthammer.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. Oh, thank you for the food. Compliments to the chef.
Hax chimes in. Yes, sir. There are many banners in Drakkar, but soon all of them will be under Frosthammer.
Well, I'm just like shoveling this food into my mouth. There's like grubs, you know.
Oh yeah, they were totally alive when they hit the pan, and some of them are still twitching.
What do you mean everyone will be under the Icebound banner?
Oh, great! They're coming to join you.
Our leader is uniting the tribes.
Oh, how nice!
That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, is this Hax that we're talking to?
Yeah.
Well, you're not the leader, Mr. Axe.
No. Everyone laughs. Quite literally. No. We serve a great master.
We serve the White Dragon.
You have seen her.
You haven't talked to her.
Yeah, she said some real nice things about me because I wasn't afraid to go out and meet her.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually not on terrible terms with her compared to everyone else.
I mean, I almost peed my pants, but it was wild.
She said we were strong and that we could survive this land.
Yeah, right after killing a man right in front of us. But
Yeah.
the rest of the
Well, to
interaction
be
was...
fair, he did break
pretty
his
fine.
leg, and we were trying to keep him alive.
I mean, he was kind of an asshole anyway. He deserved it.
What was his name again?
Mm-hmm.
Captain.
I
He's our
forgot.
captain.
Oh, he was?
That's all we called him. Captain.
Oh.
To be fair, he barely deserved it. Oh.
The princess believes in
Bernay.
strength. She is
Bernay?
bringing us together. We are 2 seasons away from a great gathering.
Oh, you have a princess also.
No, that
Or
was
is
gonna,
that the dragon?
that was going to be my question. Why not Queen?
You would have to ask her. She has yet to unite the tribe, perhaps. She's very old.
That checks out for me.
Wait, that is interesting. Well, all you don't know about the hierarchical monarchist structures of dragon folk. Well, you can say that 10 times fast.
Couldn't even say it one time slow.
I couldn't. That's what I'm saying.
One of the kobolds in the back, seeing that you guys are enjoying this sort of appetizer of sorts, has brought over a number of eggs. And you can see that in one of the cages attached to the side of this sled, there's this bird that's sort of quawking and squawking and screeching. And
What does a walking sound like?
It's sort of like a like that sort of
Okay.
sound, but much higher pitch than I can
Oh,
do.
yes,
with.
please. I'm going to grab one of those eggs and try to crack it open. And see what happens.
As soon as you try to grab it, this particular kobold pulls away for a moment. And
I just want an egg.
Hax, if you contributed a little, we would share more food.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I don't know. You want to give him something?
They are new to Dakar. Let them eat.
Give him something so I can have an egg.
Mr. Axe, do you and your clan, do you smoke?
No.
Well, if you don't smoke something.
Perhaps if you just haven't had the opportunity, and I will, this is Morley, we're in autumn, right, still?
That's right.
Yeah, this is Morley Flake. It's very multi-vanilla maple. You probably don't know it. Here, try it. And I'll hand him my pipe.
Barnabas, are you going to kill him?
Oh, I know, it's fine. He's doing a lot better than some of the cabin boys who have smoked it. It's nice and mellow.
Very strange to breathe fire smoke.
But did you like it?
You like it? There's plenty more where that came from.
Can I have an egg now?
At this point, some of the eggs have been cracked into the pan, but you've gotten a whole egg has been handed to you. It's very, very good. A little tart for an egg, which you probably like even more.
I would belch loudly and then say, "Oh, that was delicious."
Scrim is the Sarnax of this campaign.
And the eggshell was exquisite.
I'm presuming that you are also adding to the threshold of getting the egg was that you put some fish down or some sort of one of your own rations.
I would probably do a
I didn't
whole
realize that.
pouch worth. I wouldn't give him my pouch, but I'd basically take a whole pouch worth of handful, and I would maybe grab some, if I have extra cloth, wrap it in that for them, and then hand it to Hax.
of
Morley Flake.
Of Morley Flake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Wait, this is good stuff where I come from.
We have many items for trade. We can trade food. We can come over. And one of the younger kobolds walks over. They roll out a blanket, and inside you can see a variety of goods. They're showing you precious stones. They're showing you there's actual mitts and boots and at least material that could be sewn into such. There are those same eye goggles that you've seen. There's obsidian rock. And you can see that there's some food in there as well. There's like little jars of tallow. There's walnuts, like very literally like cracked nuts that you could secure. There are a variety of feathers, and then vials of what looks like some sort of material. Several of them, in fact. One looks like it's a sort of gelatinous and oil-like. Others are just empty vials. That is itself worthy of trade. And finally, 6 potions, very clearly magical, swirling with and thrumming with some sort of essence like that. They've brought out their merchant, and they present these goods thusly as you're all enjoying the meal around the fire.
Do you have any mistletoe?
Or stray dog fur?
I do not know what this mistletoe is.
Do you have any kind of herbs or plants of any kind of medicinal or even
We have
value?
we have these berries that you're eating. They themselves are medicinal in quality. And you can actually see these look like good berries. And these are the good berries. These grow on bushes here, on trees.
Oh, let me tell you, this is delicious.
And if you didn't have your max HP at this time, you'd be getting 1 HP per.
I feel very healthy.
Per good
you were
berry.
healed.
Do they last a long time?
Yes, we have a few handfuls.
Would you like to trade some fish for some berries?
Yes, I believe. How much fish do you have?
I have
I have a little bit I can contribute.
I have 3 portions myself.
I have 4.
4 fish.
Or 4 pieces.
Do you like do you like gold? Is your clan a fan of gold, or are you more bartering type?
I might have a single gold coin on me.
Gold. We take to tribute to the princess.
Oh.
Well, perhaps the coinage that we've...
You want 100 gold pieces for some of them berries?
Damn it, we shouldn't tell him we have 100 pieces.
That's quite a bit of...
For 100 gold pieces,
Yeah.
I fetch a high price.
What will you do for these 100 gold pieces? We will gladly hear your offer.
One moment. Eat.
Huddle up, team. God. Queenie, the first thing you have to know is you don't start with the top. You start by saying, "Oh, I only have a single gold coin on me."
Oh, well, I didn't start from the top because I also have 20 platinum pieces.
Well, don't tell them that here. Okay, all right. We tell them that we only have 100 gold pieces, and if we need to go higher, we'll go higher.
All right, well, that's what I was doing because if I can get rid of this sack of gold pieces, which, let's be realistic here, there's not going to be any place here that's going to take this coin.
Well, it sounds like the dragon will take the coin.
Right, we might need that
And
ourselves.
you think the dragon's going to be like, well, come to my dragon marketplace. Here, would you like to buy a magical item, friends?
No, but it could just be used as a way to not get eaten next time we run into her.
Or would
I
just be
thought
brave.
that may have been what she would say, but the way that you asked me that question made me think that you seemed like that's ridiculous. So now, no, I don't think that's what you would say.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad. So, I'm thinking we just get rid of this sack of 100 gold pieces because if those berries are what Yornir thinks those berries are, and I could tell by the way his eyes got... Yeah. And so, if they are what Yornir thinks they are, because Yornir knows they are what he thinks they are, and so they are that, then I think 100 gold pieces is worthwhile to have them.
To have some berries? That grow freely on the bushes and trees?
Have you seen any bushes or... I'm sorry.
Well...
Have you seen any bushes or trees around here?
No, but maybe they just came from bushes and trees.
I think...
Hold on. Can I get on top of your shoulders?
Sure.
No.
Oh.
We have our offer ready.
Oh, well, perfect.
Have you heard the saying, Toishan, is that 1 clam in the hand is worth 2 in the mud bank?
We had many sayings where I'm from, but none were of clams.
Us knowing that there are bushes somewhere, someplace, is absolutely useless compared to the berries that I have.
Oh, no, never mind.
Okay.
You were saying, sir.
For 100 of your gold pieces, we offer you 15 of our good berries, a satchel full, and you can have one of these potions. This one can help you heal yourself. And you can see he's held up a set of 5, and it's glowing with sort of a red pearlescence. It's fermented of the berries, delicious and also magical. And in the other, able to move very quickly, vertically, climb.
That is
kind of cool.
really cool, and it seems super generous. I would, however, like to barter a little bit.
Barter, yes.
I would also like a hug, one in which I am not stabbed through the gut. To teach you my customs.
And perhaps more than just one potion, maybe 5.
500 gold pieces for the set.
Oh, well, we only
I think the
unfortunately-
one is good enough as long as you include the hug.
Perhaps one potion of the climbing variety to throw in there in case that becomes useful for us.
Wait, so were you originally saying we got 15 good berries, 1 potion, and 1 climbing potion, all for 100 gold
Your
pieces?
choice. 15 good berries and 1 of the potions.
Perhaps one of each.
Okay.
Is that fair? How often do you find a hoard of gold in this...
Yeah,
in the withered lands of all
exactly
places?
101 gold pieces. What are the chances?
Make a persuasion check. One of you at advantage for help for everyone's help.
We're helping.
20
20
is my high roll.
We'll give you 10 good berries in both potions for 101 gold pieces.
I think we just, climbing potion, we just get rid of it.
Could you do 20 good berries and the 1 potion?
Because you see, there are 5 of us, and 20 is a really great number for 5.
Oh, hold on. There.
You
It feels
already
like
gave us this smoking leaf. We could do that, yes.
Oh, okay, good. I was getting
And-
worried I found another gold piece in my pocket, but never mind.
You'll let me teach you how to hook. Alright, I'm gonna approach you now, alright? Can you put your spear on the ground?
Make a persuasion check.
You promised me natural 20.
Oh!
Well, then whatever my
He
persuasion
hands
is.
it to his
He
companion.
goes like this.
Alright.
He doesn't know what a hug is.
Now, what this entails is I'm going to walk straight up to you. I'm going to put my arms around you. Watch, you know what? I'm going to... Tashin,
Yes?
would you like to help me demonstrate a hug?
I would love to help
Watch
you.
this. See?
It's very nice.
Did you see that? We're going to try that. And I'm going to walk up and I'm going to hug him. Do you feel how warm this is?
This is the first time I've done this with clothes on.
Oh, wow, that got dark quick.
You know, it can be done without your clothes on. That is true. But I think you would be a little bit closer than we are now.
It's nice.
It's warm, isn't it?
You're very soft.
Oh, thank you. Oh, well, that's my tail. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Hey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He like releases you and he's like, that hug, good.
See, it was nice.
That's a fair trade. A hug?
You stabbed me over that.
I thought you were going to try to kill me.
Oh, he is a fair point. And we're in the withered lands, Miss.
Is it the Withered Lands?
The Withered Lands.
Why?
It is forbidden for most to go here. We were chosen to make an open jaw trail south, north around again before we passed through the mountains back to the mainland. But only very few are allowed by the princess.
Oh, wow. I mean, that could have gone really differently then, I guess.
So what you're saying is that you all come from some great city or gathering where the princess lives.
A region, a great land in the center of Drakkar. It is where we are gathering in 2 seasons.
For what purpose, do you know?
The tribes have all been asked to come together The princess has demanded it, commanded it.
Do the tribes all get along, or is there potential that you could get hurt if you go to this?
There will be fighting.
Oh.
But big clans can, even as big as they are, enjoy their pockets of the world. Isolated, quiet. Very rare for war.
Well, I don't want anything to happen to you. So you be careful.
Thank you.
Speaking of being careful, can't help but notice you're heading into much colder climes in the direction you're heading. How do you plan to... We just came from there. We seem to be just a step ahead of very, very cold temperatures. How do you plan to stay warm?
We are very tough, resilient against the cold. And we have blankets and fire.
Oh, boy, that'll do it. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Hax, for the tribes, are they all creatures such as yourself? Or are there other races and species in the great grander clan that serves the princess?
Some are great horned, hairy beasts with hooved feet. Others are very short, with great beards and blue skin. Others are... let me just quickly make sure that I'm doing this the right way.
Like blue skin like myself, scaly.
No.
Great beards like myself, green.
Short, stout.
I'm stout, but not
Do you
short.
speak of dwarves? Do you dwarves?
Yes.
I've never seen that.
Does that make me think of Dwergar, or is something different?
Something along those lines.
I see.
I don't know if that exists in Mammut or if that would be something that you'd make a connection to, but
That's a good point. Yeah,
at a meta level, that is a very reasonable conclusion to come to.
I would think Yornir would at least hear stories if he hasn't met one or several.
We do have a lot of questions. I know that time is precious out here because the weather can change pretty quickly, and we certainly don't want to keep you, but...
Did we make a deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys got 1 potion of climbing, 1 healing potion, and
I'm down 100
20
gold.
good
20
berries.
good berries, yeah.
Which I would say is, in terms of the size of it, the potions are potions. 20 good berries looks like something you could comfortably hold in one hand, so it's small, 1 slot.
I will put the good. Oh, you want to keep
No,
them?
do you want them?
No, I mean, I got rid of. I had 100 gold pieces in one
Whole
slot, so I now have a free slot.
Repeat your question. One of you had a question?
Oh, I've got a lot of them.
Oh, yeah,
This place is fucked up.
It's a harsh land.
Well, I guess...
Try not to say I.
Say true.
All right, take your time, Axe. We're just, we'll wait.
Sorry, I needed to get some good berry juice.
I know. Your back teeth were floating. It's all good.
Do you have a shithole?
He gestures, and one of the other kobolds runs up. We'll show you where the.
Oh no, not for me. Just for we all ate and.
It's around the backside of the sled.
All right.
I'm still like, I've been too enthralled in conversation. I'm gonna finally take a bite. How does it taste?
I would say that if you enjoyed something like sour seafood, this is like not sour is not the right word, but like
So it's like seafood?
like vinegared seafood. It's like if you
Fermented almost?
yeah, like pickled, like a pickled octopus and berry type combination. It's citrusy and a little rubbery in texture, but it's very nourishing. At least that's the case for those 2 items. The mealworms, these like grubs or whatever that they have a tremendous amount of in this bucket, and they're just eating them by the handfuls, alive and all. They are what's the word I'm looking for?
Mealy.
Yeah.
Bitey.
That's great. They taste like dirt almost. Like there's a very turmeric quality to them.
I think this can be improved, like most things can, by Ancient Estuary.
What do you mean this is nearly perfect?
I'm going to open up my spice box and pull a pinch of Ancient Estuary and drop it in the... stir it up and start eating it. Oh, it makes everything better.
Is that like allspice? Like what is that actually?
It's Old Bay.
No. I get it. Well done. I thought that was a real thing. You're just very clever.
I put it. It just makes everything better.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
No, not bad now.
But I do have a couple of questions about this place. Have you ever? It makes me kind of sick to even think about it. Wandered too close to one of those tall black towers made of stone.
We do not go all the way south very frequently, but we have heard of a tower.
Just one? There's only one of them.
That is, to the best of my knowledge, the case.
Oh, I was so high. I thought there might be more. That's the most frightening thing I've ever seen in my life.
You were very far. I'm surprised you were able to make it this far north, to be honest.
Well, we got a few lucky breaks, didn't we?
You were very strong, the five of you.
Well, thanks for noticing.
We should enjoy the rest of the evening, but I have another deal I'd like to make with you. Another proposal, perhaps.
We are very open to proposals, seeing how our primary goal is survival and supplies.
Especially if it happens to be several seeds of an immune seed plant and a piece of opalescent feldspar.
A piece of what?
Opalescent feldspar, whatever the fuck that is.
It's a stone.
Why are you always talking about all this weird mumbo jumbo?
I've never even heard of opalescent feldspar.
They're minerals, Taishen. They're minerals. He's a mineral collector.
I can only speak for myself, but I'm not interested in a proposal. I don't plan on getting married. I feel I enjoyed that hug, and even the tail tug was nice for a while. But it's just not in the cards for me. So I'm sorry if I gave off the wrong impression.
It's all right. We all have families, wives.
You have a wife?
Yes.
Am I gonna have to talk to his wife?
Why would you have to talk to his wife?
Wait, he was tugging on my tail. Should I tell her?
Is that not allowed?
I don't want to break up a family.
Why would you break up a family?
I've done something horrible.
Or perhaps a gilded acorn or 200 gold pieces.
Gilded acorn? You mean one covered in gold?
Yes.
What the hell kind of acorn is that? That doesn't even make any sense. It's growing in the wild.
I know, but not.
Looking at the rocks that have been unfolded in the piece while you're describing these things, you do see that there are what appear to be some volcanic rocks. We would call them agate rocks. There appears to be the obsidian I mentioned before, quite a bit of it. There's a yellow, sort of crumbly rock that even from here you can smell has a very egg-like quality.
Yeah.
And there does appear to be gray or a silver or rosy. 4 stones in particular look like mica.
Oh, with that powder, you can make some really nice eyeshadow.
Oh.
Do any of those sound like opalescent feldspar?
No.
Opalescent feldspar is not a thing. It's mica.
Oh. Okay, well, I was wrong. I take it back. I can admit when I'm wrong.
It would make some really pretty eyeshadow.
I'm gonna kind of walk over to where... Are they like just throwing their garbage onto the ground like when they're cracking the eggs?
No. They are actually being very respectful of the land, and so you're noticing that they are taking the things that they can't just throw into the fire and see incinerated and disintegrated by that fire. Those things, they're probably putting into like a compost bucket or
the eggshells.
Finding they're burying it or putting into the shithole.
I'll like be looking at the eggshells. Just make sure you, when you're finished with those, you smash them and throw them in the fire. That's how you get witches.
What? Well, I mean, I eat those all the time. Are you saying that witches are gonna just like?
How long have we been traveling together that if you don't smash your eggshells, it brings witches?
I've been eating them for months.
Oh, there you go. It gets smashed by your teeth.
Do you think that's why what happened in the graveyard happened?
No, I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Did you eat eggs before that?
Probably, but he said I smashed them with my teeth.
Oh my god!
I smashed them with my teeth.
We have to smash the eggshells!
Unsmashed eggshells will bring witches. Certain every time.
Well, it's a good thing I eat them then. Oh, that's good to know.
And they seem to be taking care of it too, so I just want to make sure we are witch-free. We have plenty of other problems to worry about.
I learn something new every day that we hang out.
Oh, I've said this many times over our journey. You just not paying attention.
All right, I'll admit, you're right. There are a lot of times I'm just not paying any attention.
Tashi, do you see the way that Scrim's smiling at Bob?
I do, with all of his teeth exposed.
I know.
Yes.
He seems really
It's like a horrific, like sharp grin.
You are strong. Since emerging from the mountains, we've been terrorized a bit by a flying creature. If you were to dispatch the creature, we would be willing to take you back.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Take us back where?
Through the mountains. Back to the princess, to the clan of the Frosthammer, where we would be able to see the winter through and then see the gathering tribes together.
That would be like heaven. We'd be saved. We wouldn't have to starve to death.
And you would provide sulfur and agate and agate.
You are lost strays here in the withered lands, are you not?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Well, not all who wander are lost. We're heading north.
Not all.
It's incredibly insightful, but we're very lost.
We are offering. We will transport you to the other side of the mountains, through one of the great gates. We will be able to go and pledge allegiance to the Princess of Wrath, and together we will be able to unite the tribes all together as one.
What's the weather like over there?
It's about the same.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, beggars can't be choosers, as they say.
But there's more warmth in the northern lands.
Well,
why don't you tell us about the creature? 'Cause that's awfully vague, and I certainly don't want to be eaten alive.
Usually these winged beasts are in the mountains, but for whatever reason, perhaps a lack of food, it's been trying to attack and steal us for feeding. Be very careful. It can fly, and if you look into its eyes, it will charm you, and you will give up. You will give up and let yourself be taken away and eaten. This creature, it prefers to keep its prey alive as long as possible. Sometimes days. Our poor friend is probably still enjoying that torment now.
What's this friend's name?
Egret.
Like the bird? Shorebird?
Yes?
Make good eats.
I don't think it's spelled that way, but yes.
Weird how that happens.
They can be hard to track, but they can be attracted if you find a gray brush with yellow flowers on top. It'll have a citrusy smell to it, rubbery. If you make that into a mash, you can attract the beast. If you bring it down and you bring us its head, we will show you through the mountain.
And how will we find you again? Are you just going to stay here and wait for us?
We're turning around, having found you lot. I would propose that we meet at the arch. At the end of this river, northeast, we can cross in and through a great monument, go into the mountains, and pass under and through them.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, I would like to try and save Egret if we can.
Is it warmer underground?
Yes. We won't spend much time there. It's very fast.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate again. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
I think that if there's anyone that you would have stumbled across that could bring down such a winged beast, it is the 5 of us. But I think we would need to discuss it in private, if you wouldn't mind, for such a generous offer.
You can go about your business. Dolly needs to continue with the fire, so
So
do as you
Dolly's
will.
going to listen to our talking.
If you want a private conversation, we need to keep the bonfire going.
I think we could just step like 10 feet to the left. And
The fire's real warm.
I think that we can perhaps go off to the edge of camp.
Is there anything to say that Dolly can't hear? Dolly, you're trustworthy, right?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I'm sold.
Certainly he can't lie to us.
Dolly, do you know how to lie?
No.
I'd like to discern whether or not Dooley knows how to lie.
Make an insight check at advantage.
is the bonfire on? Is the bonfire presumably on like wood and stuff like that? It's just stuff like lit up.
No, it's
right?
bonfire out of nowhere. You know that spell.
Create bonfire.
I didn't take that spell.
Create
I thought
bonfire?
it'd be
You don't
bullshit.
have it?
No, create bonfire.
Essentially, this kobold, mechanically speaking, at the middle level, this kobold is taking every minute is casting the cantrip create bonfire, and it is literally just a bonfire that emerges out of nothing. What was your score?
I got a 19.
Yeah, obviously Dolly knows how to lie.
I think we should just do what Tai Shen said and take 10 steps this way. Just,
It's
you know.
so boring.
Well, it'll be very quick
all
conversation.
right, fine. I'll do it, but you have to let me tell you a story.
That's fine.
All right.
That sounds like a deal. And I walk 10 feet away from the campfire.
I'll follow.
Our path does not lead us to where this dragon is. We should not be trying to gain its favor.
No, thank God you said that, because the first thing I was going to say is that I'm out. I'm not interested in getting charmed and eaten.
I'm not against killing this beast. Perhaps we can barter for more goods. The sulfur, maybe.
Well, no, hold on.
Maybe
I'm very against fighting the beast. I don't want to get charmed and eaten.
I want to fight the beast. I want to try and save Egret if we can.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, think about it this way, right? If one of us were taken by a beast and we met a kobold clan afterwards, and we had the ability to send the kobold clan out to rescue Scrim or something, wouldn't you want us to?
You told me you almost shot me in the back of the head.
Because Barnabas told me to.
I am having a hard time believing that you come and save me.
He was calling you the one on the left. I thought he'd given you up for dead.
Well, all it takes is one charm and up. He took the one on the left. He's charmed and he's eaten. We can't save him.
If Barnabas told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I had to.
Well, for what it's in Queenie's defense, I did want to make him the captain. He's very trustworthy.
Look at him. If I said no to him, he could step on me and I'd be mash.
He could get away quite easily.
I just got stabbed in the stomach because I tried to hug a kobold, so
don't
I think that my chance of survival against Barnabas is pretty slim.
The point being...
Oh,
is
pretty
that
scrim. That'd
I'm...
be funny.
That was pretty good.
I should have said that instead.
Next time. Save it for next time. We'll all pretend like we forgot and we'll laugh. It'll be good.
All right.
We came here for different reasons. We crashed in this land, but I think we can all agree that something's happening here beyond our expectation. Yornir yourself, you had a vision of something happening to this land. Maybe we do need to meet this dragon and gain its boon, its blessing, its protection. There may be more here to do than just survive. This land may need our help.
So the question is, if our purpose to be here and our North Star that we're following is preventing from whatever you saw in your vision, in your eye,
Yes.
does, from what you discern, would the dragon help or harm that purpose?
must consult the runes.
Oh, I love it when he says that. All right, let's do it. I'm going to sit down next to him. I'm ready.
How long does it take for you to do this?
From a mechanical perspective,
Yeah.
I think 10 minutes.
All right. Well, that's the perfect amount of time for me to tell my story.
Yeah, tell your story.
You promised. There once was a man named Hoary Boulder. It's not spelled like you think it's spelled.
All right, I'll believe it when I see it.
And actually, I don't even remember what the rest of the story was. I think I just found his name comical. Anyway, what are we going to do for the next 9 minutes and 30 seconds?
I would say time moves quickly when you RP. I would say at this point,
It's actually been 20 minutes. He has the answer already.
the sun has crossed the sky. I mean, little snippets of these conversations, how long it would have taken you to trade could take hours. Getting everyone to warm up could take a long time.
Yeah.
Waiting for the camp to get set up, eating, all of these things would have taken much longer. So at this point, it's late afternoon, and the sun is starting to darken the sky instead of brighten it. And with that, 10 minutes go by, and the runes are cast.
The runes.
The runes.
Casting
The runes.
Oh, let's go,
I'm
baby.
going to ask if we, and I'll sort of wave my staff over and do some shamany things. And I
You don't
will
have to
say,
Hey, nature!
If you don't want a knuckle sandwich, you tell me what to do. I'm divine in here. You're gonna be hurting worse than Vinny down on 42nd Street.
I have the old faith. If we follow these beams through the gates and under the mountain, what will be our fate? Let me peer into the weird. Let me see. I'll open my eyes, but I'll sort of unfocus my normal one, and my sort of scarred up eye will glow blue. And I will try to peer into the weird.
You attempt to look through the veil, focusing on your spirit to harness the magic that's necessary for this communication, for this commune, and you look deep. What do you have to do? Is this just a casting of augury?
Yeah,
or?
it's augury. Yeah. So wheel, woe, or nothing. Results that aren't particularly good or bad.
And your question was, what will happen if we go with these kobolds through the mountains?
Through the gate under the mountain.
Interesting.
You focus very hard. You can feel that it's that night is approaching. If these 10 minutes, you try to, almost in a meditative way, you try to make a connection, and each time you do, the answer that comes back is nothing. You don't get a sense of a positive or a negative divination, and instead, it's void. It doesn't seem that there's an answer that would fall cleanly into any of the three obvious categories. It's like when you're completely in the dark and you expect to touch a wall, and instead your hand continues to swipe at air.
This is not good.
Uh-oh. I don't like you when you say that.
Did not get an answer that was warming. Did not get a good sense either. That does not mean that there will be good and bad. I just did not see.
Are you saying it didn't work?
It worked in the sense that our fate is unclear.
Did I distract you for the first 30 seconds of your ritual spell?
Perhaps he ruined the whole thing.
Oh
Maybe
my
cut
God.
off my connection.
That's
to
what
the
I
weird.
wanted to tell you. Hoary Boulder fucked everything up all the time.
Would it not have been helpful if she ruined the whole thing?
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't help at all. Well, I mean, it doesn't help not at all, but I mean, we still have to make a decision on our own.
Sounds to me like just means our fate is yet to be written. We have to keep hope.
I like the way you think, Tashi.
Oh, thank you.
I think.
You're kind of like the dawn, and Barnabas is kind of like the dark. Kind of like the light. Barnabas is kind of like the dark.
Like the dusk, or
You're kind of like the sun, and Barnabas is kind of like the dark.
maybe like the sunset,
Why
that
is
would be
Barnabas like the dark?
Because he's just a downer about everything, witches and shit.
Do you want us to have a witch problem here, Miss March? Do you know what witch is here, do you?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you and tell you I don't even know what a witch is.
That's because we smash all our eggs.
Well, he's right, but the data provided, it does seem to be working.
How do we know that a witch isn't something that's good for us?
Statistically.
We don't. We just know that we don't have any.
Out of the sky. A stereotypical green-skinned, hat-wearing witch zooms down on Scrimm, smacks the back of Scrimm's head.
What the fuck?
And then, and then disappears into the... that doesn't happen.
Do you see that tornado? There's a house in it.
Fuck! What the fuck?
I think that we can provide great value, at the very least, to barter whether or not we go with him and pledge our allegiance to the dragon. We kill this beast, and perhaps we just say we need supplies for our own adventure, our own journey north.
It sounds like the majority of us want to kill this thing.
It could be useful if we could gain some more supplies for our journey.
No, it just sounds like such a lot of work.
And I believe that there may be some benefit to learn how these gates work.
I was gonna say, it'd be really funny, but then as I was gonna say that, I realized it wouldn't be funny at all.
What?
If they were just sending us off in the wilderness to die, and they weren't actually gonna meet up with us at all or help us out.
That's what we would call the long con.
Yeah.
I knew a feller named Long Con Silver once.
Really?
Was he friends with someone named Hoary Boulder, who had the worst luck of anyone you've ever met?
I knew a feller named Fatty Bulger.
I don't want to interrupt.
No, that was Fatty Badger, and I knew that bastard.
No, I don't know. It must be a different Fatty.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Queenie, are you saying Hoary Boulder? I want to make. I know you have a bit of an accent, and I do too. I'm not complaining. I just want to make sure you're saying Hoary Boulder.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the same page then. That's good enough for me.
I think
He had a son named Wide Crag.
I think that
They were minors.
it's very reasonable for us to be concerned about the intention of these folk. But I think that at this point, I'm confident
Are
in the
you
five
sure
of
it
us.
wasn't Fatty Badger?
Now, I was certain it was Bulger.
That just seems too close to be coincidence.
Well, I actually don't think it seems quite reasonable that there'd be an easy way to get the nickname.
You got her. She's dead.
And we have been traveling. We left that village a month ago. And if we can make our way with this caravan, we don't have to worry about fuel for fire. We don't have to worry about any getting their food with their magical berries and their worms. With a little bit of ancient estuary will make that very edible. And there's safety in numbers from the beasts that are clearly becoming more numerous the further away we get from the withered lands.
Our resources are running low.
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Fire Blossom.
What could they have to gain from nefarious intentions towards us?
They could wear our skins for extra warmth.
What? No,
I mean, this is the first thing that came to my mind.
I am no expert on kobold or other type dragon folk, Mr. Fireblossom. Perhaps you can correct me, but if they're white kobolds, they share similar blood to the princess that they serve.
That seems to make sense.
Ice is in their blood. They don't need us for warmth.
They're wearing culottes.
They're wearing shants.
That does not mean what you think.
It's the power of shants, Miss March. Oh, actually, Shant's Bolger was Fatty's cousin. That's strange that they both came up. Those lads.
Yeah, I don't think Fatty had a cousin named Shant's Badger.
Oh, so we have confirmation that they're two different people then. I'm glad we solved that mystery.
What the fuck are you two talking about?
But he did have a brother named Fatty Dumpling.
I actually did know a feller named Fatty Dumpling. Anyways, I think that Mr. Yornir, you are our wilderness guide. You know the lands of ice and snow better than any of us.
It doesn't hurt to help. It suits our skill set. And if we could gain favor by helping one of them, then we can. This is not out of what I used to do.
This is the first time we've met anyone we can converse with. Maybe the longer we stay with them, the more we can learn about this land.
You know what I just thought about?
No?
What if there was poison in that food?
That's what I told Taishen. He wanted to make them tea, and I was like, they're not gonna take the tea, because if it were me in the shoes, then he was like, well, they're not wearing any shoes. They're
not
barefooted
wearing
kobolds.
any shoes,
And I was like, I know, it's just a saying. He was like, what's a saying? And I was like, well, they might think we're trying to poison them.
Why would you say they were wearing shoes, though, if they weren't?
Why would they think that my tea is a poison?
Why wouldn't they think that your tea
It
is
was
a
a
poison?
ludicrous thing to say after you said that they were wearing shoes when they clearly weren't!
But you keep... Never mind.
Why don't we ask if there's a princess? Why isn't there a bigger... Maybe there's a bigger dragon.
I think Mr. Staviscotch already did, and they were quite...
They didn't seem to understand what I was asking, or that maybe it was a prerequisite for uniting the clans
Well,
first.
and I think that we're also assuming that their like hierarchies or whatever are the same as ours. Like, just because, we know things of kings and queens doesn't mean that a princess isn't the highest thing that they've got.
That's true. We are definitely making assumptions.
And we don't even know how it's spelled. What if it's spelled like Prints? And they make newspapers. You don't know.
Like, Print says.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright. So, it sounds like we're in agreement that we have to kill this thing. We just don't know whether or not we're going to go back to their city?
I think we should let them know that we will at least travel with them for some time, and that we will perhaps gain maybe potions or some other supplies.
When the time comes, we could always flip a coin.
And I think that regardless, we can say that wherever we part ways, it will be as friends.
Provided they don't kill us for our
I
skins.
gotta say, the native folk here have been far more hospitable, kind, and welcoming than the lot that fucked off north from our ship.
And
true.
to be fair, if they're going to take anyone's skin, you're going to be the last one they take. And I mean this with all due respect. Why are you looking... You should be happy. I'm saying... What I'm trying to say is, look at how big Barnabas is.
It's true.
If you're going to skin someone, you're going to skin the biggest one.
You're at least 2 inches shorter than they are. They'd never fit inside you.
I would make a lovely pair of shoes, thank you very much, which you were so very adamant about pointing out that they don't have.
Well, yeah, okay.
And
That's a good point.
Yeah, I could see that.
And if they wanted to make shoes, they would skin me so that they could fur-line those boots.
Yeah, you're right.
Aye, that's true.
That's fair.
I think you'd make a great hat, Scrim. Maybe I'm biased because you have a very large hat. That's where my mind
But
is
see,
going.
that's the thing. If I were going to make a hat out of one of us, I'd make the hat out of Taishen because he would make a nice dragon leather hat.
What?
I think you'd make more of a great set of luggage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you could get a full set all in the same color.
Oh, exactly right, yeah.
That would be nice.
Carry things around. Practical and helpful.
Yeah.
Can I make a point that we are so inept that our dungeon master is playing the heist minigame in chat?
Yeah, the sun is approaching the horizon.
Well, I guess that means we
I'm
should
just
probably
listening.
give them our answer. I guess we'll go hunt this thing.
I suggest we get on with this fucking heist.
All right, we gotta go find the plant. We gotta go. Maybe they can point us in the direction. We'll make the mask. We'll lure the
I was
beast.
gonna go to the bathroom.
I start like knitting.
I'm gonna practice my close-up magic.
Sleight of hand.
Well, Mister, whoever, someone go tell them that we will do it. We can if they think it wise that we go off at night, then we'll go right away.
I'll be happy to tell them.
Well, Barnabas, you want to go tell him?
Oh, well.
Oh, I suppose I could.
We could go together.
Oh, Barnabas doesn't speak Common or Draconic.
I think he speaks common.
Oh.
How would we be talking right now?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I was homeschooled.
Holy crap, that would blow my mind if we weren't actually speaking common
We've been
right
speaking elemental this whole time?
Holy shit.
Actually, yeah. I mean, my main language at this point is Common. I'm a little bit rusty on what I was raised on.
Oh, what language is that?
It's a dialect of Primordial.
Huh?
Aquan.
What?
Never mind.
A chew. Anyway,
There must be
I
a cat
just
around
think
here.
every time you try and talk to him, you get distracted by your tea. So I think Barnabas should go do it.
Well,
I'm in front of Hax, this beast. Where is it? Point us in the right direction and
Hey,
give us
Mr.
the
York.
ingredients to bring it to us.
You'll need to travel north to attract it, I think. Perhaps it will just come upon you, but in general, you'll need to go up north past the arch to the great forest to find the plant I described. There you can get what you need and make your way back south to us to the arch. We'll wait 3 weeks.
And there's a forest with actual plants?
Yes, there's the tundra we're on now. It ends very soon.
That'll be the most vegetation we've seen since we got here.
Oh, that's really concerning.
I think.
What's that?
Global warming.
Oh, I don't really know what that means, but...
I don't know. I read it in a newspaper once.
I think that we would gladly slay this beast for you, but I think that we don't really have the provisions to make that long of a journey there and back. So would you be willing to share your food and fuel so that we can make that journey?
Make a persuasion check.
You got it.
Uh-oh. Do I have inspiration?
Oh, it's
No,
too
but
late
we
to
have
twist,
twists.
isn't it? Now it gets too late.
Is it?
No, you don't have to do it before you roll. You just have to
I would
determine
like to
whether
twist.
you want to use one or
I
two
would like
twists.
to twist.
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to
You
do it
want
before
one
I
or
say
two
what happens.
twists?
Yes, I like to twist.
You have to pick.
So one or
How many?
two.
Okay. One. I think one's
One.
One is fine.
Okay.
If I fail, it wasn't. I'm gonna use this die.
It's slightly better?
6.
Oh, boy. Woof.
This is a test of strength. This is a test of your abilities to survive. This is a test of your abilities to confront the monsters of Drakkar.
We haven't proven that already?
Oh, I didn't think this was a test. I thought we were helping you get your friend back.
Almost certainly, our friend is dead.
Oh, you just said that they were probably keeping your friend alive for a few more days. And throw tortures.
It's been a few days.
What?
You'd have to find its nest. It's been a few days. You'd have to go into the mountains.
So Egret is most definitely dead.
As strong as we are, even we do not cross over the spine of Drakkar.
So there's no chance of getting Egret back.
We have already said farewell.
All right.
Then we will go
So why are we going then if Egret's already dead?
because we can use their supplies and get, or perhaps use the knowledge that they will provide for us.
And he's only presumed dead.
I think also it would ensure safe passage to the north if we kill the monster.
But if we die on our way to the monster because we can't eat or keep ourselves warm,
It's only like a week to the forest.
Isn't that in the opposite direction of the way we were headed?
Yeah, it's all
towards
north.
It's all.
I'll go wherever you want me to. I'm just very confused.
What I would say is that. Did they say that they were going back north anyway? Or
No, the insinuation that Hax made earlier was that they were originally going to probably go from cairn to cairn and very southward until they decided to turn north, making an open jaw journey, probably into or to the forest, and then back to their original destination. So they emerged from this arch. They said they were going to go south and make a trail north and around in a big circle.
Like a pilgrimage.
I would say that you're not sure exactly all of the purposes why they're here. You haven't asked them like, hey, why are you here? But
And if we're heading, we've already seen a bunch of voles and falcons and things, right? So we can just hunt along the way. And if we're going to a forest, there's plenty of fuel.
is this one of the friends you met? These other people that you said? Is
What?
this one of your friends here?
What?
And pointing across the river, probably somehow 60 feet away, and the sun is setting, so the sky is still bright enough to illuminate. But you've all been so engaged in talking that you hadn't heard this silent creature. You can see it. It's where. Well, here I'll read it. On the horizon, you see the profile of a man atop a strange steed, not made of flesh and bone. The figure dismounts and turns to face you and the band of kobolds. This creature stands nearly 9 feet tall, with a slender body of sculpted metal, polished to a mirror-like sheen. It appears obviously artificial, and yet horribly organic in the same instant. Steel like silver or platinum, almost like a seamless suit of armor in which no living being could possibly fit. In one of its two arms, a gauntlet-like hand grips an imposing, unyielding glaive equal in height to its owner, with a pointed blade that tapers to an unthinkable edge. Apart from being made of impossibly smooth metal, its arms and legs seem normal, fixed with joints to an elegant torso. Its head is tall and narrow, looking more like a lantern wearing a helmet than a head. Two glowing, pupilless yellow eyes stare out from its face, and where its mouth should be, an opening grate dimly burns with that same yellow energy, a glow as though trapped behind a set of prison bars. Its every movement is impossibly silent, yet it clearly thrums with power and strength. With each step, thin paths of yellow light trail its movements like shooting stars. Walking forward from its similarly constructed steed, the creature raises its free hand and speaks aloud to the group.
Greetings, citizens of Drakkar.
What the fuck is that? And I'm gonna get behind Barbos and like hide behind his, like.
saw in the ruins.
You described that?
It was not exactly this, but
Do I get the sense that, like, seeing this...
In fact, even against the horizon, you get the same light that you saw in your vision. This not quite tool person, you immediately make that same connection.
Citizens of Drakkar, put down your weapons. I seek the Hexature armament. Give it up now, and you will survive.
What the fuck is he talking about? We're not even citizens of Drakkar, and we don't have some hexam come goblin later.
Well, then he's obviously not talking to us.
Someone should negotiate with
The what?
him.
What do you mean? Back! Stay back, you strange creature! This isn't what... You don't know this creature.
No, we don't know him.
No! We
No, he ain't with us. We don't know him. We don't know him.
No.
No, we don't know him.
You've never seen anything like that before?
I don't know what that is.
And you don't know what he's referencing?
To arms!
No, wait, no!
All of the kobolds immediately jump up and grab their spears. They form a line at the edge of the river. You're all screaming, no?
Yeah, we're like, no!
You don't want to do that.
Whoa, be cool, everybody.
This creature has left its steed on the surface of the frozen river and is walking forward, just completely confidently and steadily. It's not stopping. It has its hand up.
Show me everything that you have.
What?
Give up your goods. Give up the Hexature armament.
We don't know what you're talking about! We swear! We have no idea what that thing you're talking about
I'm gonna
is!
start taking my clothes off.
I really hate having to do this.
You start to do that, and in the meantime, Hax, stay back. There are rules here. There's a reason we keep a distance. Stay back. What banner are you?
Oh no, this is so bad.
I am from Nirvana. You are...
Your reactions just give me. I'm sorry.
Because this is fucking crazy!
You are hiding the Hexature. You cannot stop me from my goal, my quest.
We don't know what that is. Come on, everyone! They start to advance in a line, starting to form a circle around this.
I start to
We're not
back
going to
up
stop them.
as they start to and I just put my hands to my head, I don't know what to do, or they're gonna get slaughtered.
Boy, this is their battle, Mr. Staviscott.
Has anyone heard of this? I have not seen anything.
I don't know what that is at all.
I can't even pronounce what
I
you
got
just
to this
said.
place the same day you did.
Sir from Nirvana? Knight, the guy?
This isn't a Wendy's.
What?
It keeps its eyes on the approaching spear wielding kobolds, but you hear its voice.
Yes, speak.
What? Why do you think we have this?
The artifact is here. I know it. Do not conceal it from me.
Can you at least tell us what it looks like?
That's an interesting question.
The Hexature armament is 6-sided. It is like a prison. It is the size of a that I could hold in my hand. Reveal it now.
Your hand is considerably bigger than mine.
We don't have it. Stay back.
What color is it?
Does his description remind us of anything that we've come across at this point?
It doesn't. I would say if you wanted to make an intelligence check, it would be very easy, even to with a 5, to know that you have not heard or seen an artifact with 6 sides that you could hold in one hand that could be considered something that this creature could be seeking.
I don't even want to suggest this because it sounds really cowardly, because it is really cowardly. But if that thing starts slaughtering all of them and we can't help, we gotta get out of here.
Lower your weapons now.
They're not listening to him.
I think that we treat this fellow, right, whatever this thing is right here, like the White Dragon. We do what it says, and if they don't, and their blood is shed, we will comply.
Well, can we not just let him search the camp? He says he knows that it's here.
If they won't let him, we can't stop them.
If we find this for you, will you leave these kobolds alone?
He continues to keep his eyes on the kobolds who are continuing to move around him and ignores your question.
Stop, or I will be forced to defend myself.
He's trying to take our things. Join us. We have to fight this creature.
Please, friends, don't do this. We don't want to see bloodshed.
Make a persuasion check. Persuasion check.
Ha!
Twist
I got an... I'm gonna
2.
use...
2. Let's use 2. That's my vote.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is extremely important.
I'll use 2. I got 2.
How does it work where I interrupt this with a twisted threat?
You can't interrupt a twist with a twisted dread. At least I can.
Yeah,
So is
that's
it
not
one
my
of the,
fault.
is it like keepsies where like the person who says the
So
twist
It
first?
first, yeah.
Okay.
I would say that if we roll it, and then I guess it depends. We haven't really
We'll have to
decided.
figure that
Yeah.
out.
Oh, shit, that wasn't a roll.
Because, like, the
Unless
Twisted
it's a
Dread is
drug
already
employee.
powerful enough, but to be able to negate twists, personally, for my campaigns, I think that's unfair to chat and unfair to the table, but you can do you.
Oh, no.
Icebound is not Edge of Midnight, so...
Better.
17.
17. Look at the size of him. He's gonna kill us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Come back. Come back.
What do you expect us to do? He's gonna murder us all.
Let's just let him search for whatever he's looking for, and then there doesn't have to be any bloodshed.
And if he only takes the one thing, you keep your lives and you keep everything else. Isn't that more important than being slaughtered and losing everything anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
What would the princess want us to do? They all start to they're no longer advancing. They're no longer
Princess of
advancing
Wrath.
on this creature, and but it is continuing to walk forward. And at this point, it is 30, 20, 15 feet away from you and the gang, now all standing in a line just on the shore of the river. What are you all doing?
I would lean into Hat if I could and just say, "Do you know what he's talking about? Tell me the truth."
I know not of this artifact. I can't. No,
Then let him search.
All right. What do you suggest?
Just tell him he can search. Say, if you know where it is and you can find it, you can have it. Just touch nothing else. Or take nothing else.
Normally we would fight in times like this, but
What would your princess have you do?
we are to unite.
You will not unite if you are all killed.
That's exactly right.
Everyone, put down your spears. They start to set their spears down, and the next 15, 20, 30 minutes are a blur almost, as this creature very, very steadily goes through each one of you and all of the kobolds and the sled, and makes sure that every single item is taken out. Every single thing that can be opened is opened. And you do have to actually show open your clothes and pull your pockets out. He does a complete audit of everything that is on your persons and all of the kobolds, all while just silently scanning and watching each of you, holding this this glaive, keeping a hand on this impossible. That's badass. And
What the fuck is that?
I'd like to know what that is too, but
It's a sperm whale.
the audit having been completed, just as the sun goes down, you all stand as he starts to walk and make his way back to the steed. Basically, all of your things are scattered around you. The sled has been completely unpacked, and all of those things have been laid out in a row based on the barking orders of this extremely strange 9-foot construct, for lack of a better
15-foot
term.
work.
Yeah.
As he starts to walk away, I'm gonna be like,
You're gonna trip him?
"Hey, you said you knew it was here. It's not here. What is all this about?"
The armament is on Drakkar. I have already said that.
This asshole.
What can we call you, friend, in case we run into you again or run across the armament in our travels here in this land?
I am Secundus.
And he jumps on his steed, and they start to immediately ride, crossing past the camp and towards and into the mountain range. And for a shocked minute, everyone stands silently breathing. The bonfire had gone out for a moment and reemerges as the Firebringer puts the heat back on, essentially, and you are all bathed in the warmth of this strange encounter.
What 9 hells was that?
That is a powerful being. I do not know what it is.
I've never seen anything like that. I've lived many decades. I've seen all sorts of monsters, but nothing as cold and lifeless as that thing.
Where do you think Nirvana is?
I do not know, but I think he He's an agent of what we
Anyone
saw.
else think he smelled like teen spirit?
The visions that we saw of flattened mountains. Perfect order in this land. It seems in line with what he's doing.
You think he's, like, with whatever horrible stuff's happening in this land?
Just seems to be searching for something so far.
Yeah, well, anything called an armament can't be good.
As you see,
Some kind of weapon.
it was not natural. That was not a living creature. This
Well,
was not a life.
Well, if he lost like something that belonged to him, like let him take it back. I don't see why there's any problem with that. Probably better it's with him than with someone who doesn't know how to use it.
What if the intention is to make this land more like himself? Does that sound like what you saw in your vision, Mr. Yornir?
So, corruption that was symmetrical. Surfaces of snowflakes, everything, forest, mountains, snow, tundra, perfectly in order, perfectly symmetrical.
And how do you know that's not what Nirvana looks like?
Might be, this is my point. Perhaps Nirvana is the state that he, or they, whoever he is, whatever they are, he's hoping to achieve.
Well, you're assuming that place you saw is what they want to turn Jakar into. And what I'm saying is, do we even have proof of that? How do we know that what you saw wasn't just the place they came from?
There were animals dead, flat plains.
All right, well then how do we know
trees.
that that's not what's going to happen if that weird Armatron stays in Jakar? What if this entity thing is trying to take that back to Nirvana so that it doesn't cause that problem? We don't really have any information here, is all I'm saying.
When I saw the vision, the last sense that I got was that it was perfect order. This was the... Am I articulating that correctly?
There was a sickening order almost. The like a tree branch that is it might be beautiful and have its arches and fingers in an organic way would suddenly straighten and become impossibly perfect in that way. And even though that might not strike you as on its surface something that is particularly evil, you were filled with a sense of dread from somewhere, almost like drowning.
All right, so what I'm trying to say is this. You are assuming that this entity is heralding this change in Dakar. What I'm saying is, I got weird, strange obelisk vibes from this guy.
Yes.
Am I right? Does everyone else feel that way?
I certainly felt some
So
dread.
what I'm thinking is, what if he is not here to usher in that changing of Jakar, but he's here to remove that thing? What if it's like, you know how if you put a bag of holding into one of them holes and just everything explodes?
Mm-hmm.
What if that thing, that armament, if it gets too close to that obelisk, it could create something like this? And so he's trying to get it out of Jakar. And if we get in his way, we're actually going to usher in that horrible age. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know.
Well, you don't have the information.
And what I do know is history is wrong.
I know what I saw.
And
sure,
what I know is that we were called here by that rhino, by the spirit. And if there was some man of metal and light that big looking for it, and he was going to save this land, why would we be called here?
Hex has walked up at this point. He's been working with the other kobolds to put things back together, to get them, calm them down, to attempt to bring some order and peace back into things. And as night finally fully submerges, and he turns to the five of you. Thank you. We perhaps owe you some thanks.
I'm really sorry about all that. Did you see that thing? I've never seen anything like that before in my life, and we've survived this long. There's just no reason to just throw our lives away.
Not on Drakkar. Nothing like that, no. It's more important than ever that we get back to the mainland.
Perhaps you can tell your princess about what you saw. Secundus, you got a name out of him. Maybe she knows this fella.
Perhaps. We would be punished severely for not having asked you to go through the ritual of finding this beast, bringing us the head. Are you willing to join us?
I don't want you to be punished.
I certainly don't want that either.
Good.
I haven't also killed a monster in a long time, and I just kind of would like to do it.
You will find us at the arch.
Sure.
We'll find this creature and meet you there.
We'll take you as far as we can, and then you can make it to the forest, where you'll find the plant that you need.
Yeah, we just crush it up into pulp and leave it out for this thing to come get.
Miss March will be able to track it down, no problem.
Yeah, sure.
This is what she's good at. Perhaps we head out in the morning.
Yeah.
Given that I wasn't expecting to run into a strange man of metal and light.
What if there's more of them? What if he's not the only one?
Well, then we're probably gonna die.
Well, he didn't hurt us.
Yet?
He just searched our stuff and left very reasonably.
I guess he knows we... I wouldn't exactly say that was reasonable, but he knows we don't have it.
Well, it felt like he could have killed us all and searched our stuff. And instead, he just didn't do that.
I mean, that is a fair point.
None of that is reasonable!
Oh, no.
He did it in an orderly way. He is a slave to it. He's a slave to order.
Is that not square with the natural order?
No.
Well, I, for one, believe in change, the sea and the sky. Not whatever that thing was. There's no order to it.
The rest of your evening is uneasy. What was a cross-pollination of strangers in a strange land and these kobolds and their ways and cultures. There's a pall that quiets much of the rest of the evening, and eventually you find yourselves asleep, sleeping nearby the camp of kobolds, and you enjoy the benefits of a long rest.
I refuse to sleep.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding, I don't.
Let's take a break there, and
yeah,
then we'll
refuse to
continue to
sleep.
go.
Do you want to tell us about your whale?
So yeah, you would have seen that I would have been reluctant to take this large, and you may have seen it like me, like taking it out, but like to present it.
Barnabas
And have
does
him,
this?
Yeah, Barnabas.
I didn't know you had a big whale on you.
Yeah, it's what my flask is.
Oh.
And so
Like-
so basically it's a large corked. There's like a large wooden cork that's in it, and he sloshes with some kind of liquid.
I was going to ask. You, we don't know what's in it.
No, and
Because
so
we know you gave up drinking.
Yes, exactly. And so I would basically kind of present this unwillingly, and I would definitely not let him touch more precious about the shell, but also about this.
And you also have like a specific vessel for water, like separate vessel. for
Yeah,
water.
oh yeah.
So we just have no idea what's in
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Is
Tashi?
it seawater?
Tashi,
Huh?
I think I know what's in that whale.
Oh. Well, I only just noticed that he presented that
You know
whale.
what type of whale that is?
Oh, Jesus
A
Christ.
large whale?
It's called sperm whale.
I don't know too much about whales. What's relevant of that?
Do you know what sperm is?
No? Is it in the sea?
You wake up, and it is now starting to flurry. The clear skies of yesterday have transformed into a overcast, and large flakes start to drift down. And you wake, and the party, you all, and the Frosthammers journey north along the river, and it is day goes by. 2 days goes by, 3 days go by, and in very quickly you are able to see that this is where the river actually turns and makes its way into the mountain range. And in the wall on the cliff face of this mountain, you see another one of these arches, and it is almost identical to the one that you have seen before. It has been similarly sundered. The statues on the side have been crushed, and you see that there is a wall of stone just beyond the archway itself. However, this is where you and the kobolds part ways. Hax comes to you. We will make camp here, and we will remain for as long as we can. We will stay until you retrieve the head of this flying creature.
Hopefully it won't be that long.
I'll make sure here, and I'll open up my spice box and put a little pouch of ancient estuary. Wait, give this to Meepo, will ya? He's really grown fond of this stuff. He's love. Wait, Meepo, I'll miss you most of all. We'll be coming right back.
Meepo has fashioned his own pipe, having had a few nights to whittle.
Oh no, you don't smoke it. Whatever you want to do, Meepo. He grows his own crab claw.
A Requiem for a Dream montage of eyes dilated.
It's just a crab rave.
Follow this river to the next ruins, and beyond that, another week's travel. You'll reach the edge of the forest.
Man, that is daunting. But I guess we better get started.
I never thought I'd be happy to see trees, but first time for anything.
Do you have any rations we can take with us?
Your rations are in the river. You must do this for yourselves, or we will not be able to protect you when you join the Frosthammers.
The Black Frosthammers? Who are they?
Probably like black ice.
That's a consequence of a DM changing the name at the last second.
Not spoilers.
Well, those like your evil cousins.
The kobolds, who are very much trying to change their ways, bid you farewell. This is a journey that you have to take on yourself.
Oh, I think that's fair. Have we been eating their rations?
They've shared. They've shared food. They've shared their eggs. They have almost a regular supply from this Arctic tern. They have.
I've been laying eggs because it's that time of the year.
Yes.
And I'll also
about eggs.
I'll also add. You might actually even recognize this book. These are migratory. These are migratory birds who probably go all the way to Mammoth and then back again. To like go to breed during summer and then come back here. So it's surprising. Like you don't know the journey that this bird has been on, but these kobolds keep it, and they're one of them in particular. One kobold in particular, like really cares for this like a pet and like a loved one, and nurtures it and makes sure that its eggs are good and that sort of thing. You also recognize a lot of the food stuff that they don't waste goes to the like rot grub bucket, and those they continue to grow, and then they get fed down, and they continue to grow, and they get fed down. Like you learn quite a bit about their ways, but it's all living off the land. It's all pretty savage, but they do what they need to survive. And having journeyed along with them, you could probably call them friends now.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I'm glad they didn't all die horrifically.
Especially Meepo. He just loves the ancient estuary.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye. We'll meet you back here in 2 weeks.
Hex gives Queenie a hug. Goodbye, and
Character growth.
On the rump.
and you find yourself making that trek.
I just really feel bad. I feel like I should have told his wife. We spent a lot of time together, her and I. I don't know why you're laughing. I'm trying to confide in you, Tashi.
Is his wife here?
He said she was.
I thought he said she was back here with the princess. Did he ever even mention his wife?
Yeah, he did.
I don't even know I said that. I didn't think there was a wife.
Yeah, I asked him after he was groping me if he had a wife, and he said, yeah.
Oh.
But I think that she is not in
I think it's probably also
so-
different cultural norms
So
for
that
a reptile.
that wasn't his wife?
Which one? Meepo? I thought Meepo was just the cook.
Oh, I thought Meepo was his wife.
I don't think so.
No, I think Meatbo was a very slow lad. I don't know why you think it was his wife.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'll keep an eye out for turn eggs. I know you like them so much.
Oh,
and
yeah, I did. Thank you.
Speaking of eggs, we should finish our lesson about the sperm whale.
Oh.
You have,
We
three,
didn't
you have
finish
3
up?
days to complete your lesson as you continue to progress northward. Yes.
Every day that we have to fish,
Yeah.
I volunteer for that to be my job. I volunteer to fish every day with Barnabas. And
Oh.
almost every day I catch nothing.
Almost certainly.
And I come back, and I have just basically fucked off every day and not contributed or lifted a single hand under the guise of fishing with
So,
Barnabas.
Scrim, I was fishing today.
Oh, never better. I love fishing. It's so much fun. It's relaxing, very stress relieving. You know, get a lot off your chest when things are really tight. Ugh, this is awful stress. It's tight. You get wound up real tight, but then you go fishing, and you are smooth sailing for the rest of the day.
So you sleep like a baby on the days you go fishing.
I do. You know, I never really thought of it before, but now that you mention it, I sleep much better after a very hard-fought day of fishing.
With Barnabas.
With Barnabas.
Is there anyone else you'd rather go fishing with?
No, Barnabas is the perfect fishing partner.
I'm really happy for you, Scrim.
Thank you. I feel like I finally have a purpose in life.
I thought that, I think fishing's good for you.
Thank you. Me too. It really builds some strong muscles, especially in the legs.
I bet it does.
Well, good night. Oh, were you going to say something?
Well, I was just going to ask how it builds strong muscles in the legs. Don't you use your arms to fish?
Well, you use your whole body. Let me show you. Specifically, when you're on the bank and there's
Somebody clip this.
a lot of fish and pike in the area, you might start with the arms, but then quite often you have to get the legs in with it too. You know, and this is a lot of soreness when you're not used to the motions of fishing.
And Barnabas taught you how to do all that?
Yes, he did. It's easy because he's a lot bigger than me, so he's able to put me in the right positions, if you will. He's very strong.
I bet. He looks it. And you look like you're getting stronger every day, too.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but thank you.
Barnabas does most of the work, doesn't he?
He really does. He's a very hard worker. We'd all be dead without him.
And you're feeling more alive because of him.
Well, I guess you could say that, yeah. Good night, Queenie.
Good night.
It's on the third day that you find another somewhat larger village, similarly ruined. You've seen it before once at the place where you finally were able to catch fish and to enjoy respite during your strange experience with the lights. And it's here that you find an image that you've only ever seen two-dimensionally. There is an ice sled parked at the docks here at the village. Seemingly,
fuckers.
this being the terminal point of the northern voyage that the crew must have taken, who knows, days, weeks, months ago, on their journey. And there's evidence. There's evidence of fire. There's evidence of empty crates thrown and littered about, quite literally, like trash almost, garbage.
They're frozen, lifeless bodies.
You do not find any bodies.
Damn.
You do not find any bodies.
Any blood?
You do not find any blood. You do find in the hearth of one of the more together buildings. Again, these are all stone structures. You do find small bones. And if you wanted to investigate those bones, I'd be happy to let you make a roll for this purpose.
I'll check out some bones.
Survival, I think.
That sounds about right to me.
Good roll. Solid roll.
21.
21.
They look like bones. Small bones.
This is definitely bones of some small carnivorous mammal. But you guys have been having the occasional luck with Queenie's bow, catching Arctic foxes. I keep wanting to say ermine. That's correct, right?
Ermine or ermine? I think they're both.
Yeah, I think they're both acceptable.
Or like Arctic weasels.
Weasels, right?
Yeah.
I prefer it.
Yeah, that's why I said they're often confused with me.
Oh.
These bones don't immediately suggest either of those creatures, and as you are pushing your way through the ash, was that funny?
You spent like 5 minutes debating the pronunciation, the type of animal. But it's nothing like that. So
I want to say, is this the correct pronunciation? I want to say this. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. Idiots. Yeah.
Well, that's because I'm setting up the fact that he pushes the ash aside and he finds a fucking cat skull in there.
Oh, what's up?
Oh no!
The what?
The one crewman had a cat.
They ate the cat.
This goes to show that I was right in my flag design.
To be fair, that cat was kind of a dick.
What cat is it?
I mean,
What was that cat's name again? Like jalapeno or something?
Chewbacca?
I talked to the cat.
Yeah, I know.
used my magic to
Yeah,
talk
it did
to
not like you.
No, it was not very helpful.
You followed it around for quite a bit.
I did.
Who did it dislike the most?
I think me, certainly. There was no question.
Wasn't that Mr. Stonebridge's cat?
I think so.
Perhaps, yes.
it feels like it was years ago at this point.
There was no question.
I mean, I guess survival.
How much, especially after starving for as long, if it survived, it would have been no fat on it. There must have been a bite for each of the crew members, if that.
Well, it was probably a fight to the death.
Desperate men will do desperate things.
Well, no, I'm thinking more the cat probably scratched someone. They were probably got into some kind of argument. And whoever it was had to fight the cat to the death. And in this case, the cat failed.
Well, I think that if they're still alive,
I mean,
they're in
unlikely.
real bad sorts.
They have to be doing way worse than we are.
Certainly be itchy.
I'm sure they're bleeding out. And if they had an allergy, they have succumbed. Speaking of cum,
It's pronounced Coombs.
We look around for anything of note before proceeding north to kill the big bird.
You do find a few more illustrations.
Oh.
You find a few more drawings, again, similarly
Like from Mr.
signed by the
Stonebridge.
cabin boy, Roland. And he is drawing images on the sled. You see a really beautiful landscape of the mountains, and you can even tell that the light had hit it in the same way during your confrontation with the strange mechanical man that you see this the alpenglow just as the sun is about to set when it turns great and bright red, orange, and yellow. Before shrinking into blue. This illustration is extremely well rendered, and you see images of the men, a tableau of everyone hunkered around on the ice sled. It looks like it must have been day. Perhaps it was something that he was drawing as they were riding the wind across this frozen river. Do you have any questions or want to know more about the illustrations?
I would like to know, staring from using my memory of who I would have expected to still be in the crew, or who would have left in the crew, and how many people are present in the illustration. Does it look like there's fewer men that made it to this point?
Does
That
it look
is a
like
great
any of them
question.
succumbed to cat wounds?
Cat scratch fever.
I was just about to say that.
It's
You can see in this illustration that though they're more poorly rendered in the background, there do appear to be 7 figures in this drawing. He really focused on one in particular because they were probably sitting still, but there do appear to be folks sitting around or working the sail or something like that. It seems to be, I'm drawing what I see, kind of a rendition.
So there would have been 8. Is that considerably fewer than I would have expected? 2 have left. Is it what I'm trying to discern?
Maybe they aren't included in the illustration, but you would know that there were 11 who would have abandoned the ship, minus the one that they killed and left behind.
Okay.
So it definitely seems like they've thinned their ranks.
By 3, potentially. He may not have drawn them, but
at least.
I'll point that out.
If Roland dies and they bury him at sea, he would be a Roland in the deep. That's an Adele joke. She is my favorite bard.
Thank you so much for the twist.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you.
Shamil
That's a twist of dread.
Yeah, please don't be lucky. Please don't be lucky. Please don't be lucky.
We don't have enough. Nice catch. Nice catch.
That was pretty smooth.
I don't know how to do that.
That was pretty good.
I
Just
think
screamed.
if we don't find anything else of note, if we can look for tracks to see where they went. But beyond that, I think we'd want to go kill that bird.
And I apologize if this was stated or just obvious.
It
that
was.
I'm dumb. Did they abandon the sled because it doesn't look like there's anywhere like terrain for it to go on because we're so close to the forest now?
It does look like they abandoned it because the river narrows considerably.
Okay.
It just seems that this was the last port of call, so to speak, on the river sea, and the sled still looks ice-worthy, for lack of a better term, but
They just had no more use for it.
Had no more use for it, and after spending perhaps a day or two here, based on the amount of debris, they continued wherever they continued.
All right. Oh, I need to subtract candles.
I would say that you need to start subtracting candles for.
It's been 3 days.
So that's another.
It was 3
chunks.
days, and then to get to the arch, and another 3 days to get to the village. So 6 days have passed in total.
So 6 8-hour chunks.
6 8-hour chunks.
So we're down to 9 8-hour chunks.
You are down to 9 8-hour chunks, but it's here that you can fill up completely on rations, whatever you have in your inventory for this purpose, because you are able to have a successful fishing day.
Sweet.
Okay.
I would like to, if there's any kind of shelter that I could drag this wind boat under, like I don't know, like if it's by like cliffs or like inside a building or something, just to kind of keep it protected in case for whatever reason it'll help get us back to the.
This wind boat is massive, and there aren't trees yet. There aren't coverings or anything. The dock has not been equipped in that way, but you can tell it's been built in such a way to survive the elements. Who knows how many decades or maybe centuries this wooden structure has existed here, but just moving it would require you to unfurl the sails and actually like man it.
Got it.
I'm envisioning maybe not quite this size, but the ship that Kevin Costner has in fucking Waterworld.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
skiff.
that wide, skiff,
yeah.
that wide, and that kind of shape is about the size of this ice sled. So the illustration didn't actually do the scale very justice.
I think.
Is there enough like spare wood in the ruins to collect firewood until we get to the forest, just to sort of make that?
Make an investigation check.
I think that's a 10.
There's fewer wood stockpiles here in the form of broken down doors or that sort of thing. You actually see that a lot has been picked through already.
Yeah.
But you are able to get some bundles. I would say that you have the ability to balance against your rations another 6-7 days worth of fires in addition to the candles that you have.
Okay.
So we got like 15 days, 16 days.
So I would want to make any repairs to the sledge that I think I would need. Just while we're here with the extra wood, and then take the 6 or 7 if that works on the sledge itself.
And I'll smoke whatever fish that we can carry. And
I can hold up to 8 rations.
Yeah, so basically I'll smoke a bunch of fish.
You fill up on resources, and pretty quickly you are making your way again northward. It's here that the tundra starts to reveal itself. There are small shrubs. You are starting to find plants. There are occasionally you are seeing these like very large fern-like trees that are themselves matted down with snow. It's almost like a field of standing tall frozen giants, just that you have to trek past, because even though they are far apart, they are still and crushed with the icing of snow that holds down their boughs and their limbs. The journey is long, but you have the rations that you've kept from the fish. You have the ability to stay warm at night, and for these reasons, you're not mechanically required to roll against exhaustion. You're able to keep your spirits up by moving during the day, and at night able to keep warm through either burning real fuel or the magical bonfire candles that you have. And things are getting steeper. Instead of the flat ice sheet or the reasonably flat surface of the riverside, it's getting rockier. Hills and swells and occasional rifts in the earth itself that you have to go around in order to travel north. It starts to get rockier in its terrain, and on the 8th day of your travel from the village, you see the forest edge, this wide expanse. You remember now, as you were traveling southward, this was what felt like the very northern crown of Drakkar. As you were heading south on the ship, the Moorbound, you remember there was a great lush green forest, a beautiful deep green of spruce and of spruce is fine. Spruce, fern trees. You were able to see all of those details on the landscape. A great, giant, massive forest. Perhaps this is the southern edge of that same. And what are you all doing?
The plant that they described was like a yellow, or like it was a bright bush.
Yellow flowers with grayish stalks.
I think
it's citrusy.
Yeah, I think as we go into the forest, we just keep an eye out for
Make a nature check.
Nature is what did I get? 15.
With a 15, you remember that you had a more extended conversation with Hax at some point, just sort of making sure that you understood exactly the nature of this plant, if it had any other applications, sharing knowledge with him the way that you used to with your druidic order. And he explained that though it does occasionally show up in the actual tundra fields that you're now crossing, that it's pretty deep in the forest that you'll have to actually get in order to see it. You're still keeping your eye out, but even with a 15, you're fairly confident that you're going to have to get a little farther into the heart of these woods before you actually stumble across or can get the scent of the citrusy plant.
Okay.
So you continue to make your way.
I'm just keeping an eye out for any kind of danger with my danger sense feature as a barbarian.
It's on the next day.
We're going into a forest?
Yeah. Oh, and actually, for the purposes of this, let's forest it up.
What?
Oh,
that's pretty slick.
Oh, that's cool.
You find yourselves now walking through these large trunks, them getting narrower and narrower. You can see that the sledge that you have only very narrowly fits through this space. You wonder how those kobolds would have been able to navigate this space, given how dense and thick this forest is starting to get as you make your journey in and through and towards the heart of this forest. It's on this day that Queenie, you actually pick up on tracks. Looking down at the snow and into the earth, you actually see these large hoof prints of what is very clearly caribou, similar to what Yornir transformed into just before the captain broke his leg.
Do you care about a caribou? Or do you care about a caribou?
Who are you asking?
Well, I was looking at Barbos, but I'm asking everyone.
Oh, I don't have any special connection to a caribou.
I mean, assuming they're edible. As long as
If
that
they're
won't
good
offend you.
eats, I can prepare it.
I mean, it means that there is food to
Does anyone hear that?
eat.
I think there's a computer booting up somewhere in this forest.
Na 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 na. I heard that too, and I hate this fucking World of Warcraft song for that one reason.
How dare you speak ill of this song?
You have to admit that sounds exactly like that part.
Everything else about it is fucking banger, but
Right,
that one
but that
part
one
always
part,
takes
I'm
me
like,
out.
Oh.
That's fair.
Thank you for that. Yeah, you definitely think that you're close to a caribou-like creature, and having so many days have passed, your stock of fish has dwindled considerably.
So we need to cross off. So how many days total was that?
It was 6 to the edge of the forest, and I just said that another 9 went by.
3,
In the forest?
4.
Well,
So I'm
Are
totally out.
we seeing any like good berries in the forest or anything, like good berry bushes or anything like that?
I do not think you would come across any good berries, but the ones that you still have on your person are good berries being magical, still almost as fresh as the day that you were handed them.
I was gonna say that amount of time too is enough for us to burn through the.
So we have 15. So that's 15
We have
days.
20 good berries.
And I would say 15 days or 15 or 16 days of wood as well.
Okay, so I have I have 7 days of wood. So
Okay, and I have 9
Okay.
days of candles, right?
So I'm gonna take off 7.
And we're at what? You said 15, so we got 2 left?
15.
You're starting to feel a little less pressure about the wood. Whether or not you want to keep it on your sledge or in your inventory, or burn any of the bonfire
rather
candles.
save
Now
any
that you are in a
candles which are
forest, you are able to always find
Then we
branch
should
to
use
knock
anything.
off.
We should just
or
make the effort to
You're
find wood.
you're near fuel as
Okay.
opposed to the
Yeah.
harsh Arctic southern land.
Thank you for that.
So that's still 15 rations.
Yeah,
15 days of rations.
How many
for
do you have
each
on
of us.
you?
I had 10.
I have 8, so I can take some out of mine.
Okay.
I have 8.
I already burned all mine. So, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left on the sledge for fish.
Oh, then we should be good. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry.
No, we need 15 times 4. That's 15
Yeah, that's
days.
a problem. Oh, shit. What happens if we ate every other day?
You'd be okay. I mean, technically, if you really want to cheese it,
No, I don't want to cheese it, but
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
but-
think eating every other day is unreasonable.
You
save
could,
food.
You could figure out who has, like, if you're playing like Grognard D&D, you could
Right.
you could figure out who has the least constitution in order to save, and then you only eat just before that person becomes exhausted at like the longest possible.
I think
interval.
we'd all just be trying to eat every day.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like something we'd be...
No,
I would agree
I
with
ran
that.
out 7 days ago.
Well, here, then I'll take off 1, 2,
Because I had 8 on my person.
5.
I had 10 on my person.
I told you I don't have any rations on me.
You have no rations on you.
No.
Well, here, I'll give you these 5. I had 5.
What's
Queen
15
has
times
no
4?
storage
60.
space. I
So
am
we need
small.
60 rations.
Yeah,
Well, I have 8.
I had 8.
So can we have been hunting and fishing along the way?
No
Maybe not
fishing,
but
but you absolutely could be hunting. This is the first big game that you've spotted.
Would Queenie be able to go hunt, perhaps with her bow, similar to how I've been fishing every day, and perhaps roll a survival check to see if we've been able to catch voles or shit?
That would be up to Queenie.
Yeah, I just don't really want to feed people. That's not in my headcanon for how Queenie
You're not like a
functions.
heal bot or a
Yeah,
feed bot,
I'm
rather.
not like a hunter or a ranger.
No.
You know?
Do you go off by yourself, or do you do
I'm
it
more
with
like
a
a
group?
bunny.
Do you do it with your group, or do you go off by yourself?
Oh, I do it with a group.
Gross.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Sperm whale?
Moby Rich.
Fatty.
Fatty Rich.
Fatty Bulger.
Fatty Bulger.
Fatty Badger.
If you go, decide how you're doing it. Tell me how you're doing it, and then I'll let you roll survival to see
I would
how
just
well
say
you
every
do it.
night I would go off with Tai Shen. And I would hunt while also trying to explain to Tai Shen what sperm is.
Okay. And
And
he's,
it
he's
is never
just not
effective.
getting it.
No. My explanations are horrible. I don't want to be vulgar. I talk about birds and bees. It doesn't work.
This is the first time, and I will say it's hard to explore the forest at night, especially during this time of the month. And the reason
Well, I'm
is
saying more like in the evening, I guess.
In
I
the
wouldn't do
evening.
like dead of night.
Okay.
But like as things are going out to get their eats
Dusk.
before they
Dusk.
settle
Oh, yeah. So there's a little bit of
before
light
they
left,
settle
yeah.
down for the night.
We're approaching the darkest night of the month.
Yeah.
It is the 7th day of the 12th month now. And that means that you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days from winter. And you are finally able to find like a trail that looks like it leads to a real kill, a caribou, something that could feed the group of you for days, maybe weeks to come. And you and Tai Shen go out into the forest to see if you can find this creature, trying to strike that golden hour when you have enough light to really track, but it's dark enough that the caribou is probably not going
little
out
more adventurous.
and isn't exactly is settling down so that you can catch up to it or something along those lines. And sure enough, roll survival.
Is she assisted by Tai Shen?
Tai Shen, how do you assist Queenie?
I listen very intently to your stories about sperm.
And attempt to make tea and talk about tea.
Yeah, probably talk about tea a little bit.
When you provide light, perhaps.
Yeah. Is that what? Yeah, I guess I would attempt to assist in whatever way she would direct me. Potentially, if that's like, I would assume. I don't know. We wouldn't
Can I
want
use
to
a
direct.
twist of fate?
Yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you. 18.
Nice.
18, easy. This trail, you are able to make your way through the trees, and after a few hours, you tell Tai Shen to be quiet because
Tai
you can
Shen,
tell
shut your mouth,
you can
please.
tell that just around this hill, these tracks are so fresh. This caribou, you can almost smell it. You're able to creep around, and behind one of the trees, you can see its antlers poking out, and then looking a little farther, it's quiet as a mouse. It's a rabbit, perhaps. You are able to see the full body of this thing, and it's nibbling on a branch, let's say.
At caribou. That's old. See its antlers? See them? Its horns or whatever it is. I'm not from here, alright?
Where that dumb shit is.
See them? They're big. That thing's old. It's days away from death. It's nibbling on that branch. Probably the last branch it's ever going to see. Want to know why?
Roll to attack.
If it's not like 20, we should.
I
As an unseen attacker, are you advantaged?
Oh yeah, I am unseen,
That's true.
so I'm at advantage.
Is that how that works? Is that a ranger thing?
No, that's just combat.
It doesn't.
That's a rogue thing.
Oh,
It
really?
doesn't matter.
Badass.
That's why you like hide between rounds.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, unseen attacker.
19.
19 hits.
That's lovely. I don't know how to play this character.
Grant's stumpers do that.
I'm Twitter pated.
Nice. Good number.
Yeah,
Pulling that right out.
13 damage. And
My bees finish it off.
my bees are gonna swarm its body.
Oh my god.
It's like
And it's gonna take. I rolled max damage for both my attacks.
Holy
6
shit.
points of piercing damage.
Of bee damage.
And that's
How much total?
8.
Should be 8 plus at least 5.
Yeah.
Plus.
So 13 plus 19 points of damage.
What
Queenie,
are
should I do
your-
anything?
What are your bees looking like? By the way, are they classic?
They all
black
turn
and-
into wasps and they just fuck this guy up.
Are they classic black and yellow in terms of their?
Yeah, they're bumblebees.
Are they the regular size? Or are they big,
They're like
big
big
boys?
They're chonkers.
They're chonkers.
Yeah.
Those are the
Okay.
best kind.
They're like they look like they've had like a couple of like moon pies.
There are a variety of Arctic bees, obviously, because I do all my fucking homework, right? There are a variety of Arctic bees, so if you wanted them to have blue fur, you can.
I
but
don't
it's
know.
yellow
Yeah,
town.
yeah, they're
Just
yellow.
checking.
and
So they
Like
obviously
cartoon, classic cartoon.
like classic.
this
cartoon
caribou
bees.
right through the back of the neck. This arrow sticks, and then immediately the bees are upon it. And what you watch is a nightmare. But you're not able to pay full attention because as this caribou goes down, and you're grateful that it had such a quick end, a second
It's
arrow.
swollen, but you see, the thing is, it's dead, so it can't feel it.
The second arrow hits the tree that it was nibbling on, as if it had fired just moments after you had made your attack, from just off and to the right.
Was that you?
I was gonna say that. Was that you?
I'm going to immediately ears up like a satellite or something. And it's
antenna dish.
thank
whatever
you,
satellite
and
dish.
I'm listening.
You triangulate and you listen, and you're able to sense that probably a few dozen feet in this direction, there's another person with a bow who had fired that shot.
How smart am I?
What's your range?
What's your range score?
I may not be. I ain't smart, but I ain't dumb.
15.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
smart.
way smarter than the Scrim.
Yeah.
Scrim's a dumbass.
I'm gonna try something, Tashi.
If it's anything like what you did to that caribou, that poor bastard's fucked.
And I'm gonna take an arrow and I'm gonna fire in the direction that I think that the arrow came from, and then I'm gonna immediately say duck. And duck. No, actually, I'm gonna fire back at the tree.
So you fire back to hit the same arrow, or to
Just somewhere on the tree.
jump somewhere in the tree. I will say you're able to hit a tree easily. I'm not going to even make you roll for it. You just and it hits, and you hear the sound of movement, very faintly, from the side, moving towards the caribou, and around. You look through the
Okay.
trees, and I'll ask
I
you
am-
both to make a perception check.
I am heavily paranoid.
I
Oh,
posted, I posted a comic, an old Shen comic in the Icebound Discord that shows exactly what Queenie's bees look like.
I also want to note that caribou was voiced by Nicolas Cage. They're my caribou eyes! Oh, God. That's Evangelist Canon. As the god of the world, I'm allowed to say that. 21.
21.
9.
9. Taishen, it's because of your height that you're able to see over a bush, and spy this hunter first. But what you see is,
It's Queenie's.
I want to see it, but I'm DMing.
Just look at it.
Here, I'll pass you a picture. Just keep going.
What you see is the head of. It looks like if Willie the Worm was transformed into a bee.
That's Billy the Bee!
Icebound.
It's a Discord.
It is.
That's literally where we were just looking.
Unless I-
No, it's in our group
Oh,
chat.
because it
yeah.
just says fucking hashtag icy. This is why we need Schmeichbound. And so we have Schmeichbound. Because I get fucking confused. I'm sorry. God damn it. Alright, I'll fix it.
All right, so I'm tall.
Over the top of one of these bushes or shrubs that are adjacent to one of these trees, you see auburn hair, long auburn hair, and you see a quiver of arrows. You see what looks like thick furs, Arctic furs, and you see the bow. This person's moving very quickly, circling around, trying not just to get to the caribou, but also to figure out where you are. But they haven't looked or spotted you. You're still unseen. Queenie, you don't see any of this because there's leaves in the way and shit.
Queenie, I can see. It looks like someone potentially who fired that arrow is over there stalking the caribou. They don't seem to notice us yet.
Well, you tell them not to take our fucking kill.
Well, maybe we could just walk over. I'm in the right. I can look at them. We could just walk over them and just tell them together.
Well, why don't you go over there?
Okay, I'll go over there. That seems reasonable.
I'll stay back behind this log.
Okay.
And if they try and kill you, I will try to kill them first.
You think they're going to try and kill me?
No, probably not.
Okay, well, that seems very reasonable.
All right, cool. I'll stay back behind this log then. And you just say, hey, we shot first.
Okay, that's it.
That's ours.
Hello? Hello?
But do it over there so they don't see me.
Hello?
You hear a shuffle, like the sound of a body hitting up against a tree.
Hey, I see you over there. Don't be shy. Did you shoot that arrow? You missed. My friend who's over behind that log, she hit it first. It was a good shot, though, but she was better. How are you?
You see a face turn, hair switching to one side, and a woman, a human woman.
I would move towards the caribou.
Hot dog.
Speaking.
You're a goblin.
Yeah, and she's gonna love me. Just like Barnabas.
Probably exactly like Barnabas.
Perhaps in her mid-20s or early 30s.
Okay.
You get a glimpse of eyes, and then
well, at least she has them.
That looks scared and alert and alarmed before it darts back behind the tree. Or do you stay in place, or do you?
I'll be walking towards the caribou as I'm like calling out.
As you get 10, 15 feet away from the caribou, you hear this woman immediately jump out from behind that same tree and...
Look, honey, I will shoot you through your head before you can shoot my friend.
Oh my gosh, this is escalating. Queenie!
And you'll see my ears poke up over the downed log. Hello, I'm Queenie March. Miss March if you're nasty.
Miss? Other miss with the arrow, not Miss March, not if you're nasty.
And I'm aiming my arrow at her as well.
I know this might seem like an arrow to an arrow, some sort of face-off, and we're at a bit of a draconic standoff here. However, did you see the bees?
Did you see the fact that I killed that caribou before you did?
It was horrible.
That's what I thought.
Well.
She starts to gesture very quickly. She's not making a sound, but she is using her hands very quickly to attempt to communicate with you before...
My God, I think the horror of those bees has driven her into some sort of seizure.
Maybe she doesn't want us to speak, or maybe she doesn't want to speak. Maybe she can't speak.
Are there bushes around?
Yeah, they're larger and larger shrubs as you've gotten farther and farther into the heart of this forest.
Try speaking in Draconic.
What? Okay. Hey, don't shoot, but in Draconic.
And then spit fire immediately afterwards.
You say this in Draconic. And, she shakes her head. She continues to...
Okay. I would like to, like effectively mechanically firebolt a bush but not like super threateningly. Like if I can, you know,
I'm a god.
I'd like to hold my hands up and then like, you know, like, hey, be cool, and then kind of just like,
What is the damage of Firebolt?
a D10.
Don't you have
1d10.
prestidigitation?
What is it? But that just like cleans me off.
There was
right?
this one time when I was cleaning.
You can light
Oh.
fires. You can.
I can create a harmless sensory effect.
Yeah.
I had a sensor. I had a
Small
Zippo once, and I didn't know how to fill it with fuel because I was a baby with it at the time, and I filled it to the point where I accidentally put a lot in the cap. And then I tested it, and then I decided that I was going to be super cool and flicked it closed, and like a small but very serious stream of fire came out.
You just threw
Firebolt
napalm
can
everywhere.
kill a person. I couldn't do that with that, but it was very alarming.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Instead of Firebolt, I like to use Prestidigitation to gently light this bush on fire. And then, quick as I can, I'd like to, like, in the smoke that's coming off the bush, use Control Flames to create, like, what would look like, I don't know, peaceful objects.
A peace sign,
Yeah, maybe like, you know, like, we come in peace.
which looks like this.
Or written out in common. Yeah.
That's definitely the hand gesture she used. She used the middle finger. It looks like this. No, I mean this.
Draconic death grip.
Okay, so you do the correct hand gestures. I don't know if it's verbal, somatic, or anything, but I think it's just somatic. Regardless.
Prestidigitation's verbal and somatic. And
Okay.
Control
so you
Flames.
speak the
is-
words, you do the hand gestures, and the side of the bush starts to glow with embers and smoke. And then the smoke itself, you are shaping with your magical abilities, your innate abilities granted to you by your patron, let's say, and you are trying to communicate. And all you see is the emerging expression of fear on this woman's face. This woman is horrified to see that you are able to produce magic out of nowhere, to produce fire, to be able to control. It's very evident that you are controlling and creating this image. And she's gesturing faster and faster, and starting to back up 5, 10, 15 feet. She's no longer threatening you with her bow, but she just seems completely alarmed by your entire situation.
Queenie, I used to be good with people. I think I've lost my touch. She seems very afraid. I put up the peace sign and everything.
That wasn't a peace sign.
What did I put up?
A middle finger
What does that mean?
essentially means fuck off.
Oh no!
Who taught you that was a peace sign?
Scrim said that this is the universal sign of acceptance!
Wherever back we are, like, you'll never believe what I taught Taishen.
He said if ever I couldn't communicate in the same language to just do this!
Well, you do need 2 fingers for a peace sign, but you want them on the same hand.
Oh no!
Yornir is sitting next to the campfire wherever we are with his hood up and the rain just staring at the fire. I'm over the fire
Snow is
frying
collecting.
something with my seasoned pan.
And you'll never guess that I told him that this means we come in peace. What a fool!
Well, I'm sure that won't come to bite us.
I've also seen Mr. Bean, and she is. Make an intelligence check, both of you.
Natural 20.
Oh,
That's good money.
Oh.
So 24.
Thank you for the
Sorry,
follow,
22.
warded
Thank you,
beings.
warded
Thank you, warded
You're
beings.
welcome.
All of you warded beings.
19.
With
Can I use a
21
twist?
You may?
Just tell me. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot I got a 20. I thought something else went wrong.
24
Like 30
and
seconds, I looked
18.
away.
Yeah.
You both start to put pieces together very quickly. She's repeating the same gestures over and over. This, here, this. Putting her lips to her hand like so. She said she's communicating. I can't speak. How are you speaking?
The fuck?
So you can hear us, but you can't speak.
she shows her deck like this, and you can see a cut. You can see another cut. You can see a diagonal like this.
Oh, you poor thing. You can take that caribou.
Whoa.
What?
Oh, this person just tried to shoot me.
That person can't speak. Someone took their voice.
Well, I'm not going to eat very well if I cut their throat. That's all I'm saying. But
we could share some of it.
we could. Well, yeah, we could.
You want to take one of the caribou's haunches? We're new here. You're pregnant?
Oh, you're already full. You don't need the caribou. You've eaten a lot.
Tashin and myself.
Eating strong. Oh, maybe we're so strong with magical powers because we eat and she doesn't eat? Wow, that's what I think.
You speak. She
Can you come over here and we'll right in the dirt with this stick? And I pull up a stick.
She puts the arrow into her quiver and pitches her bow over her shoulder and slowly and carefully starts to make her way towards the two of you, edging towards the caribou, and then waits to see what you do with the stick.
I will take it and I will toss it to her.
Can you write what you want us to know in the dirt? All right. Are you hungry? Are you safe? Are you by yourself, or do you have friends or family? 1. Is it your child? Family?
Do you live in the forest?
We mean you no harm. We have 3 other friends that are with us. We're hunting to feed ourselves. This could take longer than we thought. Do you want to come back with us and we'll eat together? We'll become friends. You and your family can become part of our family.
She starts to do this gesture, and she's understanding now that she needs to be very explicit with her gesturing. And after a few minutes of her walking through and you making a few additional guesses, you ascertain that the person that she is trying to get back to with food is a sister, and that they have found some sort of habitat or home or safety. You can't quite make that out, but that you are that she could take another day because they need more food, and if you're willing to share, that friendship would be welcome.
All right. You come back with us. We'll share the caribou, and then tomorrow I'll help you hunt some more, and we'll split it, and you can take it back to your sister.
Have you seen any...
She was trying to gesture, would you come with me to help? But you say...
have you seen any bushes here with yellow flowers at the end in the forest? That's what we came here to find. Do you know what we're looking for?
I haven't been here very long, but I have seen yellow flowers. They're at the house, the shelter that I'm staying in now.
Well, that's perfect.
This is a very fortuitous meeting.
So you can come back with us to where our friends are, and we'll all come back out. Well, the 3 of us will get the caribou back there. We can cut it all up and do what we need to, and then we can go with you to your shelter and meet your sister. All right. Well, let's collect my arrows.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I collect one bloodied arrow and put it
I'll
in
go
my
get
bag.
the other from the tree.
Very, very quickly, you're able to put together the caribou into something that you can drag or perhaps carry even with that.
Yeah, I'd probably like sling it over my shoulders. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how much your carrying capacity is, but almost certainly you'd have no issue with it. Well, we are playing by a set of rules, let's say. What's your inventory capacity at right now?
Total is...
Yeah, this is going to be probably 4 or a 5 on the slot.
Total's 19, and if we use any rations, I'd have...
We used a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have like 6 slots.
Oh yeah, okay. So you absolutely are able to like get it over your shoulders, and even though it's slow going, and you have to make your way through some trees every once in a while, you and this unnamed woman are able to make your way back to camp. Before we return, what have you guys been up to for the last 3-4 hours?
It's dusk when they leave, right? That's when you wanted to go hunt. I would say I would probably help by collecting firewood, just, fallen branches and things, trying to collect firewood, keep myself busy, and I would do whatever these two basically tell me to do. And I would gripe about it.
You guys are starting to find a cadence and a rhythm. You've been doing this for weeks and months now, and it's always with the griping.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You were near? Barnabas?
I would be like, if there were any like small voles or things that Queenie was able to pick off, I would have skinned them and be frying them up in some kind of stew, and then getting like my deep pan ready for whatever meat that they bring back, and seasoning it and getting maybe just some foraging. If we have like different things that we foraged for a hearty stew.
I would be just sitting silently, staring into the fire, sitting next to it on the ground, and every 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes, I'd throw, a little bit of wood on the fire and just keep going.
And you
reflect and think.
Sure. And in the time that passes, it's now past dinner time, but only just. Very, very quickly, you hear the sound of movement in the brush, and you have to ready for anything. But when you see Taishen emerge with the 300 or 400 pound caribou on his shoulders, pushing his way through and into the yeah, that's outrageous actually, but whatever. It's fucking read the D&D encumbrance rules for real. He is able to walk into view. You see just at his knee height, that's where your eyes go next, Queenie, and then behind a strange feminine figure, a woman, long straight brown hair, very beautifully silky in its quality, very pretty features, fair complexion, covered in furs and a bow over one shoulder. You're able to see she's trailing behind, perhaps a little timidly, but she locks eyes with each one of you, and then sees the fire, sees the food that you are already preparing, and walks in perhaps a little more eagerly.
Holy hells, you found a person!
Scrim, we just need to calm down a little bit. Honey, can I call you honey? Because you're sweet as pie. This is Honey. We found her out in the woods. We were both hunting the same game. And Honey can't speak. And is a little bit shocked that we can. Something has happened to Honey where her ability to speak has been stolen from her. And she has family. They have shelter, and around that shelter are actually the bushes that we're looking for. So, we offered for Honey to come back and spend the evening with us. She's going to take us to her shelter to meet her sister, and hopefully to be able to find those bushes. And that is a situation that Taishen has gotten us into.
And most importantly of all, she almost shot me in the head. Because I lit a bush on fire and showed her the peace sign.
Oh,
Scrim.
no, you didn't. You did not show her the peace
You
sign.
told me if I ran into a stranger, that was the universal symbol
I can't believe you fell
for
for that.
displaying peace and friendship.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Oh, gosh.
Honey, you see what I'm working with here, darling?
I was the man on the left.
That's true. Now you know how it feels.
Oh, I don't like it.
Would
Not
you
one
like
bit.
something to eat? Barnabas is a great cook. He's got some phenomenal seasoning. It's called something about like, what is it?
Ancient
Something-
estuary.
Yeah, thank you.
Young lady, my name is Barnabas. It's very nice to make your acquaintance. Why don't you have a seat, rest your legs, and have a nice hot meal.
She walks up and from her satchel, she pulls out a small wooden bowl and serves herself.
No, allow me. You're our honored guest here.
She doesn't let you.
Oh.
She puts it into her own bowl. She sort of shakes her head.
If you care to, it's not poison, unless you're allergic to ancient estuary. What a terrible fate that would be.
And delicious taste.
Oh my God, Derek.
She's fine. She drinks a few timid sips initially, and then very quickly you can tell how hungry she was. As hot as it is, she just downs the bowl and is relishing every bite. She loves it.
Have you been here? Has she lived here long?
No.
Not that we could figure.
Yeah, she said she hasn't really been in the area long.
Well, I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, it's just like it's a whole continent. How does she just find herself here?
You want some more, honey? You want some more food? Barnabas, can you give her my portion for tonight?
Yeah. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Right on. Please eat your fill. Eat your fill.
I had enough. I've been eating that for every night for a while.
We don't need portions. Well, you brought this. I'll get to.
Oh yeah, I got this caribou.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Are you gonna clean it?
We got.
Always do.
Okay, that's well. If you want to get started, I can get something frying it right away.
Perfect. Thanks.
She accepts, remembering the caribou, a second bowl of this food.
She can't speak. She only communicates in gestures. We've gotten it down to a pretty good communication format, so...
It's really quite beautiful.
Why don't you have a way to communicate with her more deeply?
No, I don't. I wish I did.
I don't. I knew a feller, a former pirate, who wasn't able to speak because the captain wanted everyone to be quiet and cut off his tongue. Trained his parrot out to talk for him, though.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe he did it.
I mean, I can kind of like sometimes get a good look at somebody and really like peer into their mind, but I don't want to freak her out.
Does she do any kind of magic?
No, she seemed kind of... I mean, you can ask her. She can respond to you. But she seemed a little concerned when Tashi here was able to light that bush on fire and then flipped her off twice.
I definitely shouldn't like peer into her brain, then that might not...
You could ask her.
It's a little intrusive.
Yeah, and it might not even tell us that much.
Does your sister speak?
Is it very easy to see the stars you had described earlier?
I would say, unless you rolled less than a 5 at this distance next to a campfire, you would notice. So go ahead and roll a perception check, and almost certainly...
As long as I don't get a 1.
Is it
I
just
get
a 1?
+4. I have +4.
Oh, so you can't fail.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. I'm very bad at math. I literally can't fail.
So yeah,
Okay.
at a certain point, you look under her chin, and especially when she's communicating about language, she's touching the spot on her neck.
Is it visible scarring, or some other? You know what I mean? Like, does it look like a visible like surgical scar?
It looks extremely clean. Scar or surgical would be right, but it's very thin. It's almost like somebody made a white tattoo with white ink.
Oh.
So it's like this very thin, like the pen, like thin drawing.
And it's 3 lines.
And it's 3 lines.
Do I recognize? Does any of it like ring a bell as far as? You said it was like this, and then that.
Yeah.
Does that ring any bells? Is any like runes that I know, or any kind of sigils at all?
No. Make a history check.
It's pronounced sigil.
Yeah. That is a 15?
With a 15, you're looking at this shape, generally speaking, and it feels runish to you, but with a 15, you feel that it's coincidental because the rune doesn't have any context. It would normally go in that. How did you... It takes a few minutes for you all to start to catch up to the way that she gestures, and she continues to have to frustratingly slow herself down and say, calm yourself. How did you find yourself here? And we've only been here for 2 moons.
Like 2 days?
Like months.
Oh.
Well, we were on a shipwreck. Yeah, we were on this boat called Moorbound, and it was a moor aground is really what happened. So,
Icebound.
yeah, we were icebound, and we have been traveling through this perilous land. We came across some kobolds, and they are hopefully going to meet us and help us on this journey, but ideally, I would like to get out of this place at some point.
It's been months.
Yeah.
A ship?
Yeah.
9.
And you were stopped in the ocean?
Yep.
By the ice.
Yeah.
Have you escaped from whoever did this to you?
Rescue.
Who did this to you?
She starts to gesture, starts to try to describe a father who came back, who at great risk was able to pull her free from. She keeps referencing this like chest or belly motion. Some city of these bellies or chests that she'd been imprisoned in with her sister and with many others. That she starts to weave this tale, and I need everyone to make a group intelligence.
Interesting.
5.
We need an int class in school.
20.
There we go. That's pretty good.
I would like to cast Idea.
Whoa!
That's a classic.
And so while she's describing this story, I will think about my night in the graveyard with that horrific creature that made me sign that contract. I will feel this fiendish energy of this hound, and I will whisper just something to myself like, "Now come on, help me out just this one time." And I will flip a single gold coin from my pouch into the air, and it will vanish as I cast Idea. And if I may, I can get a +5 bonus to Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation. Oh God, tell me it doesn't say Intelligence. It doesn't say Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it all back.
Do you?
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't help me within.
That's
Well,
up to
those
you.
are all int checks, right?
Yeah, most of them.
Well,
are
I thought I had
in-
to roll a straight intelligence
Well,
check.
you can describe your problem, and you only get a +5 if I make you roll one or more of those rolls. Based on the spell description, the intended meaning, when I put the spell plugin together,
Yeah.
is that you still can get some sense of an idea. If it requires a roll that you could succeed or fail at, it might be one of those.
I was hoping that the magic of Idea and my patron would essentially help me to interpret what this woman is trying to say without using words, and might give me more of a magical sense of what she's trying to convey.
Let's resolve that momentarily.
Yeah, no worries.
Intelligence
7.
7. Intelligence
20.
Nice.
5.
Intelligence 5. 5. Good grief. Taishan, you're going to put this together at about the same time on your own without the magical requirements of idea. But you go through the ritual of casting the spell and focusing on those questions. Redefine the question for me one more time just to make sure that I have it explicit.
So you say she's using hand motions to just try to tell a story, try to weave a story.
Exactly.
I am hoping that by, expending this gold coin, almost a tribute to my patron, that the magic that my patron can lend me might help me to magically decipher what she's trying to say in some way, or give me an edge in
where she came from, who imprisoned her.
That she's like,
Make a history check.
Okay. I'm hoping to put together the patterns of what she's mimicking and try to understand better what she's saying.
Twist.
Yep.
Let me see what my plus is. Oh, to history? Oh, yeah, that's
why we
good.
have.
I'll
That's why we
steal
have
a
twists.
twist.
This is
Thank
important.
you. I'll just the one. Oh my god. Well, I got an 11 total because of the +5. So, an 11 total.
Better than 10.
It is better than 10, but it's certainly not good.
You don't know what this gesture is, chests or bellies. You don't. This is a strange. You're a stranger in a strange land. You don't have any of the tools to put together these additional elements that she starts to describe in this of a city of her captors, of what her life has been like so far. She's going too quickly, but she is coming back to her rescuer over and over again, and it's at the same time that you both start to put together the way she's talking about this father figure reminds you of the forest and the sea and the ship, and you put together, could this have been Myelin? Could this have been the person who escaped the mute on the boat that you sailed south with, that had stolen the cockboat as soon as Drakkar came into view? Could this have been that person on a mission, on a quest? She's continuing to tell this story, and she tells the story of this rescuer, this father, and gesturing over and over and over again. Those pieces seem clean and like it's like you can connect the dots in that way.
Did he have any visually distinguishing features?
No, that would have been my question. I'm with you. I'm backing you up.
Yeah.
And I would say that
like what we remember, like he has a scar.
There's a visual resemblance in the straightness of the nose, especially between this girl and the Myelin.
Would we have ever noticed
first
any
mate.
markings on his throat?
No. But
Interesting.
you will recall that he always wore a kerchief.
Okay.
Clever duck.
It seems like from what you're describing, this man you speak of bears a certain resemblance. Did he wear a? He wasn't always with you. Did he come recently? Did he wear a cloth around his neck? I think potentially she was rescued by Myelin when he left the ship.
Now that would make sense that he wasn't actually abandoning the crew. He was on his own mission.
I mean, he still abandoned the crew, but
for pretty good cause.
not to
No,
save
for sure.
himself,
Yeah,
to save them. One other question. Do I think that this gesture, by any means would it come to me that I think she might be referencing a horde? Or just definitely belly or chest? Or
She definitely thinks that there are a lot of these chests. It's not one chest. It's captors, plural. There's a group of these beings that held her and her sister. From what you can tell.
In Barnabas's travels, would I put together any kind of species where that defining creature would be like the belly or the barrel chest?
I think make just a straight history or an intelligence check, your choice.
I'll do history.
Sometimes it's the same.
I think history, yeah, it's the same for me, but I like to give the natural one.
Yeah, been there, man. You want to twist
I want
it?
to twist that. Let's do one twist. We'll do one twist. 18.
Much better.
18.
18.
Ooh.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, thank you, Chad.
She's trying to unpack this for you, and maybe you ask a few clarifying questions, but all you can get from it is strong, like giant, like large. It actually almost feels like she's describing you in some ways. Like there's a. She's coming back to this sort of like belly thing.
I'm a little sensitive to that.
She's
the ancient estuary.
You definitely get
quite a bit.
You definitely get a sense of the fact that there's this town or settlement or village that's inhabited by these creatures, and that folks like her are not just still captive there, but that she was freed by Myelin, this father or father figure. It's difficult to pantomime or charades this kind of level of
So giant folk of some kind.
Some kind of giant folk, and you start to get that yes from her over and over, like yes.
How far from your shelter were you being held captive?
Two weeks, 3.
Oh, I mean, that's certainly not close, but I mean, these things are somewhere out there.
We've been traveling for 2 weeks just to meet the kobolds. What was Mylan's last name?
He only had it for.
He only had it. Okay, Okay, that makes sense.
Or at least if he had a last name, it was never made clear to you by him, certainly, because he was always just gesturing and doing work. Or he was only referred to as that by the captain and the rest of the crew.
How tall were these captives of yours? Captors. Thank you.
That's actually a really good question, and I want to make sure I give you an accurate answer.
And she could represent, right?
And also, did your father? We know him as Mylan. If Mr. Fireblossom here is putting it together correctly,
I'm sure of it. It seems so likely.
If he's not with you and your sister, did he not survive the rescue mission?
She's in the process of explaining. 9 feet. And then, as she is finishing 9 feet, you say, "Did he not survive?"
Yeah.
And you see the crestfallen look on her face. She turns and stares into the bottom of her now again empty second helping of food, and tears well up in her eyes. You can see that she's distraught, grieving.
For your loss. Your father was a good man. Hard worker, very capable seaman.
Obviously very brave.
At least he saved you and your sister. I'm sure he would have given anything for that.
Have your captors been looking for you? I know you said they're almost 2 weeks out, but it's not that far, I guess.
We don't think that we're being looked after. Right now we're just trying to survive and get enough food for winter.
Right.
Did they speak like this? And I want to say that in giant.
Oh,
exactly.
Damn.
How did you say that? Why are you all able to speak?
Have you never been able to speak? Ever?
Only the ones who speak like him speak.
Do I, knowing what I know about giants, worshipping their god and all of that, do I know that hill giants are 9 feet ish? Like would I know, hearing 9 feet, would I have a rough guess of what kind of giant that might be?
They're more like
Let me
11-ish.
actually make sure that I just didn't give you ridiculous information. Okay, no, we're okay. And
I think hill giants are like 11 to 12.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Swole Initiative.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
My characters.
That's true.
Hill Giant, how much experience in Mammut would you have had with Hill Giant, or the stories therein, I guess, to know the specific height of a Hill Giant?
I would...
I just want to justify that you would know this.
Well, given that I am basically Giant King, and that the triad of the old faith, one of those gods is Anam, the god of the giants.
Oh, so familiar.
And so probably pretty familiar,
Okay.
right? So
Pretty good
like
justification there.
Yeah.
And how tall are you?
I'm like 7, 8
I
almost.
just say 7 and change.
7 and a half, 8.
All right. 2 Yornir standing on one standing on the shoulders would be Hill Giant height. So taller than 9 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So 14. So these are smaller.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I mean, if they have a big belly and they're giant, Ken.
Are you saying Mikey knows
What?
what Barnabas doesn't?
Well, get out of my swamp is what I'm thinking.
So, I mean, Scrim 7 knows nothing about that.
No, yeah, nor do I.
Would Yornir know anything about ogres?
I don't know.
Why don't we find out with the roll of a dice?
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's almost as if we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
What do we got?
I guess history. Yeah, I think history. I know this has been a big history roll scene, but
Can I add my
Oh,
proficiency? Is that like a given my and maybe not? No worries.
no, I don't think that you can add your proficiency in this instance.
19.
19 is enough. Every time she comes back to this gesture of the belly, you start to think of an old story you heard maybe 100 years ago. That starts to ring true, and yeah, you start to think this is a troll or this is an ogre city of some kind that clearly is keeping people like this young woman.
So then what I will do is I will say, do not be alarmed, but just make sure that I can do it.
So you gotta have some crazy runic magic that can solve this problem.
Do they look like this? And you'll see me shimmer,
God.
and I will transform myself to look like an ogre.
Nice. And you can do that because it's like within a certain feet. height.
Well, I'm making myself 1 foot taller,
Which is like,
so
it's
it's
like
close.
right there.
Yeah.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Oh, shit.
I mean, we're getting closer.
And I'll immediately dispel it.
What was that?
I mean, you've seen me turn into a human before.
No, I just mean, what was that form you
Oh, that
fit
was-
into?
That was an ogre.
Well, I've known a few of them. Nasty lot.
Never seen anything like that in my life.
It is a giant kin. They are distant relatives of my race.
So clearly it's maybe something related to an ogre.
Perhaps a troll. There are many trolls in Mammut.
There's all sorts of types of ogres, right? So perhaps the Drakarian ogres are a little different.
What's interesting to me is the more that we learn. Where we were, where we've landed, and where we've walked, clearly had to have been this wasting lands they were talking about. There's life everywhere else, and we didn't see anyone for months.
This city is hidden. It would be impossible to find. I couldn't find it now if I wanted to.
I wonder if is it hidden by magic? Or just cleverly disguised?
I don't care.
Damn.
Fair enough.
Nor should you. You and your sister are out. Your father made a noble sacrifice,
And you're safe now.
Can we go back to the lodge where my sister is?
Yes, is it close?
A few days' walk.
What we'll do is we'll sleep here tonight because it's late. Miss March, I think, is just about finishing up cleaning that caribou. I'll cook us up a nice dinner, and we'll get some rest, head out right in the morning.
We'll have plenty of food for the journey, and then we can potentially find what we're looking for as well.
And it's just the 6 of you. She points, and this is your friend?
Oh god, it's Secundus!
And you turn, expecting perhaps to see a 9-foot-tall construct of a man. But instead...
I roll shit my pants.
Yeah.
You see a young man approaching manhood. A boy. Withered. In dire shape. Blood running down from his ears.
Oh no.
Chewed hands. This is very evidently the cabin boy, Roland.
Mr. Stonebridge?
He's stumbling forward through the trees in the dark, trying to reach the camp. He sees the 5 of you. Thank the gods. And he falls into the snow. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh my god! What the hell?
Oh, this is bad.
How many times are there gonna be 6 of us?
Right? I'm like,
so scary.
Wait a minute. I know
So
I
my
can-
first guess.
Yeah, I was literally like, wait a second.
Oh yeah,
am I
so
counting?
my whatever guess that my second guess for Secundus
the first time
was right this time.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We have a lot to talk about in Adventures in Chill.
We're not done.
We're not done.
What's next, Andy?
So after every stream session of D&D that we do, we turn the cameras over to a segment we call Adventures in Chill, where we talk about our favorite moments. We have a lot to theorize about. Sometimes our DM will pull back the veil just a little bit to give everybody a little bit of like...
I'm very veil pully.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah,
about
you
that.
are, yeah.
But most importantly, we answer every single one of your questions and comments. So join us for Adventures in Chill. We're going to, we're going to talk about our favorite moments, and we encourage everyone to just ask questions, drop your comments in chat, and we'll go one by one by one by one, and we will address everybody. So don't go anywhere.
Really just end the session while I'm taking my meds.
Yeah, we did.
I should have made it a coffee break. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.